The girl is Liliana Blanchett and also the younger sister of the main female character, whose name is Juliana Blanchet. The lady at this time tells the girl to eat carrots too, and she agrees. The main character realizes that when she opened her eyes, she became a younger sister, a name that was only mentioned in passing. But in any case, the reason she is irritated now is because of the main character. Juliana Blanchett had a reverse harem of 4 male friends, and she means the 4 men who are the main characters in the candidates 5 years after studying at Delir Academy, and still in their own way, they have maintained their pure love for Juliana. The first male protagonist is Rowan Cleone. He treated Juliana very well because he needed to compete for the girl. However, after they got married, the guy despised and neglected Juliana. And when all the misunderstandings were resolved, he again spoke false words about the fact that he realized love, and at the same time he began dating another woman. That's why the girl understands that this idiot can't be trusted, and he's still called the main character. She definitely won't allow this marriage. At the same moment, people rise from their seats because they hear someone claiming that they haven't seen each other for a long time. The girl realizes that her sister is addressing the main male character named Rowan Cleone. At this time, the guy asks if this child is really her sister, and the girl answers that yes, after which she asks if Lily will say hello. The main character immediately greets the man, and the guy is shocked. The lady realizes that he is 10 years older than her. So why should she call him Big Brother, and he has no conscience at all? However, the lady only claims with a smile on her face that she is 8 years old and that her name is Liliane Blanchett. Rowan claims that he didn't know that the lady had a younger sister and that she looked a lot like her. Juliana says that she told him about it several times, after which the guy apologizes. The main character understands that this is great because even if it is not critical, he still fixed it. At this time, Juliana says that one way or another, but what brought the guy there? The young man answers that in fact he came because he wanted to ask for a favor, after which he looks at the main character and the girl thinks, can't he say what a favor? Because she is there, and even though Lilian did not appear in the original, she will interfere. The girl also understands that she will sit and listen, but the guy claims that he speaks little in front of his younger sister. But Liliana at the same moment asks what he is talking about, and the main character understands that it is complete nonsense. The guy then claims that this is because of a problem with the inheritance of the title, and his father is a bit conservative, so he said that he will not give him the title until he gets engaged. So he wants the lady to become his bride for a while. She will just have to live in his mansion, and if the girl agrees, he will fulfill any of her requests. Liliana understands that the original work began with a reference to Rowan's proposal of engagement. But at that very moment, the girl crushes the cookies in her hands, and when her sister pays attention to her, then the little girl innocently asks what an engagement is, after which she also starts thinking about why Juliana chose Rowan. The girl replies that this is when 2 people promise to be together for the rest of their lives, and the main character understands that this is possible. She chose the guy precisely because of her obsession with being first everywhere. The girl was top 1 at the Delir Academy, and Rowan was the first one to whom she opened her soul. But the main character understands that she is always her number 1, after which she asks if her sister will not live with her. Juliana tries to object, but at the same moment the main characters do not claim that the uncle said about his mansion. And that means she won't be able to see her. Juliana doesn't even know what to answer to that. And the main character with tears in her eyes wonders if her little sister is leaving her, and they won't be able to see each other for a long time. The girl immediately hugs Liliana and screams that this is not so, after which she turns to Rowan. And she claims that she is very sorry, but she thinks that she will not be able to help him, and besides, now she has to take care of her sister. The guy claims that this is really not for long. And the main character gets angry and understands that she will not allow him to take advantage of Juliana. Rowan also suggests hiring a nanny, but the main character replies that if it's not her sister, she doesn't want one. After which, Juliana says that it's good, and thanks the guy for visiting her and also apologizes for the fact that she won't be able to help. The main character at the same moment tells her sister that she seems to be sick because she is dizzy, and the woman says that this is not good. She immediately runs out of the room and apologizes, but claims that they will leave first. The main character looking at the guy sticks out her tongue and thinks that he should not dare to deceive her sister, because no matter how much he tries, she will stop everything. A little while later, the girl feels very exhausted and understands that no matter how you look at it, it's too much. The woman screamed to call all the doctors in the capital, and the girl thought that this was not possible. In the future, she will use the disease as a last resort. At this time, Juliana turns to Lily. He asks if she is bored playing with dolls. The girl understands that there are no such things as a smartphone. After which he says that he is a bit bored, and the woman asks what he should do then. To make it fun, and the main character understands that it is more interesting to look at her little sister. She has emerald eyes like her mother, and she has silver ones. So the lady thinks, why, and is there a special reason for this? But she can't even find out about it because Liliane Blanchett wasn't written in the novel, so it turns out that she doesn't know anything about herself. However, no matter what kind of child Lilian was in The New Lion, now that child is her. Juliana lost her younger sister, after which the main character apologizes to her sister. The woman wonders what happened, and the girl understands that she cannot tell her about the reincarnation. Even if she tells, the girl might think that she has gone crazy. So the lady decides that she will simply do the same as Lilian, and claims that she did not eat all the carrots. The woman with a smile on her face pulls her little sister by the cheeks and says that she told her that she needs to eat everything, so let her not do it again. Lilian thinks that her little sister is so strong. After which, the girl invites Liliana to play hide-and-seek outside because she likes to play it. Ever since she got sick, Tony has been asking to play them. The advertising heroine immediately agrees. A little while later, she is already sneaking around the bushes and wondering what she is doing at this age. In the end, the lady hid after all. Sitting in the guest's room, the girl hears someone approaching. But when she raises her head, she sees not her sister but another person. It turns out to be one of the main characters. The man asks them if she is Juliana's younger sister Lilian, understands that she is one of the 4 candidates for the male protagonist. The youngest and smartest Archduke, he was always number 2 at Delir Academy and helped Juliana because he fell in love at first sight, and he did so until Rowan took her for himself. This cunning and clever secondary protagonist is named Michael Evans. The girl realizes that she needs to pretend that Bhutan doesn't know him, after which the lady asks who this man is, and the guys answer that he heard a lot about Summer from his sister, and they are so similar. The girl understands that, however, she does not know what Lily was like, because Michael did not say another word. Besides the fact that they look alike, the girl claims that her sister told her not to hold hands with strangers. The guy claims that she was raised right, but the lady will get her beautiful clothes dirty so she can take his hand and get up. Lilian replies that she is playing hide-and-seek with her sister, and the man tells her that the game is over because he found her. The girl starts to get angry and thinks why she should listen to him. At the same moment, the guy takes out some kind of box. And he claims that before coming there, he bought several muffins, so he offers to eat together because he bought it for her. The main character wonders if this is really for her, but the guy has never shown kindness to anyone except Juliana. Now he bought something for her. A little while later, the girl's sister claims that there have been so many guests in recent days. Lilian understands that this is all because the story has officially begun. The girl also eats cupcakes and thinks that it is so delicious, but she was even a little sad that no one in this mansion gave her any. Well, at that very moment, the lady's sister takes the treat from the girl's hands and also claims that one shouldn't eat too much. After all, it is harmful to the body. The girl understands that she was not given treats for this very reason. Michael claims that since the girl is still at that age when children are actively growing and having eaten something tasty, she will grow up quickly, and the girl understands that he is saying good things. Juliana claims that Lily has poor health, so she needs to be more careful about what she eats. And then the guy asks if it's not worth eating well, so that the children have a good appetite. The girl's older sister says that her only preferences are desserts, which is why she is worried. And the guy claims that this is definitely a problem, and the main character thinks that this idiot can't change his mind so easily, so let him just give more arguments. The blonde smiles at this point, and she says that sometimes Juliana also wants to buy desserts for Lily, and besides, she also loves them. Especially chocolate muffins, after which the guy hands one to the lady, while at the same moment the main character grabs the treat, and she claims that she also likes chocolate muffins. The girl furiously chews the muffin, and he wonders if this guy really thought she would sell her little sister for some muffins. She may look 8, but she's 20 at heart. Juliana puts her sister down and claims that you can't eat too much sweet anyway. The girl understands that when she was 8 years old, she ate fast food for a week and didn't fall into eternal sleep. Michael claims that he heard that Rowan visited them. The main character understands that this is why he gave the muffin. The girl replies that yes, and he came to ask her for a favor, but when the guy asks what kind of favor, then the girl answers that he asked to be his bride. While the blonde tries to cope with his emotions, the lady realizes that she wants to eat a muffin. But the girl understands that she must show willpower, because if she wants to eat a muffin, she must ask for it like an 8-year-old child. At the same moment, the lady turns to her sister and tells her to give her a muffin, but the girl replies that it is impossible because that is enough for today. Lillian claims that she won't give her anything tomorrow either, but the girl replies that if it's not possible, then it's not possible. At this time, the blonde claims that he would like to discuss the topic of the meeting that they will be debating, and she knows about it better than he does. Juliana claims that if he talks about this, then the topic is definitely at the parliamentary level, so the girl asks if he can discuss this with her. The blonde replies that she will join it soon anyway, and the lady does not intend to stay in the mansion all the time. The girl looks at her little sister and replies that, of course not, and the main character understands that no matter how much she gives this priority attention, but this does not mean that her little sister will sit in one place all the time, because in the Empire she was the most talented person at the Delir Academy. The lady has always tried hard because of her obsession with first place, and the girl claims that she still needs to take care of Lily. The main character, looking at the guy, realizes that she is a little worried about his advances. But her little sister seems to want to participate in the meeting, and if Michael comes often, she will be able to eat desserts more often. The lady immediately turns to her little sister and thinks that she doesn't need to try to give up everything because of her, because she is so sorry. The girl also wonders if her sister will help this uncle. The blonde seems a little hurt that the lady called him uncle, and Lillian claims that help is good, and she won't have to be away from it. The guy answers that it is true and the uncle himself will come. The girl understands that, as she thought, he quickly figured it out because this is a characteristic of his character. Then the lady says that this is good, and if the little sister helps the uncle and how she helps her, then she will be all for it. The lady looks at her little sister and smiles, after which she hugs her and also claims that she is such a cutie. At this time, the main character looks at the man in front of her and thinks that this idiot should be kind to her. She agreed, but not because she liked him, but because her sister wants to work, and in addition, he can bring her desserts. And the guy then claims that this is good. And when he walks, the main character thinks that this is a happy ending because she gets desserts and Juliana gets a job. Michael gets a reason to be close to Juliana, but she won't let anything come of it, so let him not think that he caught her on the hook with desserts. A few days later, on a quiet afternoon, the main character is missing desserts. She wandered around the mansion avoiding her little sister. The girl understood that she needed dessert because the chocolate muffin she had recently eaten was too strong an irritant. At that moment, the lady heard how someone does not address someone like that and claimed that people are very similar to her sister and cute, so he asked if she wanted a cookie. But when the girl turned around, she was very scared because she saw a waving hand in front of her, who also said that the girl should definitely say that her brother gave her these cookies. The girl screams at that very moment and wonders if he has really gone completely crazy. The lady starts to run away. This man says that Lily shouldn't be scared because brother isn't a bad person. The girl starts calling her sister, but the guy asks her not to sleep because he still hasn't made peace with her. He also claims that he would like to show himself completely, but Leah is so strict with boundaries, and in any case, he once again told the lady not to be scared, and took it. The girl, in shock from fear, asks if he even knows who he is. But at that very moment, she realizes that she said it too maturely. The guy at that time claims that he really is a good person and that these are cookies and she likes them. So now they're going to be friends. Lillian realizes she has someone in mind if it's magic. This guy is at least a classmate of Juliana's, and besides, he resembles the character of one of the main characters. This guy was the unique idiot of the Delir Academy, and his character was the exact opposite of Juliana. But nevertheless, he is surprisingly close to her, and this guy's name is Alan Lowell. But the girl thinks that as for her, he is an even bigger idiot. At this time, the guy screams for Lily to wait, but the girl understands that he knocked it out, regardless of whether she hears him or not. A little while later, someone else apologizes to Juliana without claiming that it was his fault for not keeping an eye on Luelle properly. The main character understands that the guy has an unusual physique, a calm, soothing expression on his face, and a gentle tone. There is nothing superfluous in this character, and his name is Cedric Royston. Juliana asks Cedric if it was really him who brought Alan, and the main character understands that it was as she thought. The hand sticking out of the wall at that moment belonged to the guy sitting in front of her. He is her favorite in the novella, but not now because it is only interesting to look at fools outside the text. However, if he had come out of the wall, then he would have immediately become a violator, but now this is not important. The girl thinks that in the past, this happened often because Alan gets into trouble and Juliana gets angry with him, and Cedric acts as a mediator between them. Lillian realizes that it is surprising that her little sister was in close contact with him, but in any case, this guy is to blame for scaring her. But there is no cookie, so there is no choice but to eat them. But at the same moment, the lady's sister claims that she can only eat 5 cookies. At this time, Alan claims that Lily is even more attractive up close, but the woman asks how he knows the affectionate name Lillian. The guy replies that he often heard him on the way there and they talked a lot. The main character wonders how he remembered everything, but she realizes that when he stuck his hand in, he spoke to her as if he had already seen her, and she was right that he was a mage. It was unknown whether Lillian was a mage or not, because in the novel, there was no mention of her interaction with Julian's magic. She possessed a high level of magic thanks to the special genetics of her family, and when she remembered this, she thought that her sister could set magical boundaries around the mansion. At this time, Alan claims that the lady's sister is so cute, but he doesn't think about the main game, so why is he looking at her when he came to Juliana? The guy at this time claims that, in any case, he is there to apologize. Juliana asks what he is talking about, and the main character looks at her expression and thinks if her little sister is really that angry, after which he thinks what this guy could have done. Alan at this time says that at that time, he apologizes for not fulfilling her request to examine the sick Lily, and disappeared without saying a word. The main character thinks that this is true, and she liked Alan when reading the novel. That he had a different view of things, and it seems like in the original when Lillian was sick, then Juliana asked him for help, and the main character realizes that she did not know this because it was not described in the novel. If Alan Lawwell had cured Lily back then, she might not have moved into her body. At this time, the girl asks why he did this, and the guy replies that there was a small clash at the border, and he was urgently sent because they lacked a magician as a specialist in healing, and the girl claims that he could send her a letter. The guy replies a little guiltily that he was so busy, but the main character thinks that it doesn't matter how busy he was. It was necessary to send a letter, and he definitely knocked it out. The lady also looks at Cedric, and she understands that looking at him, she likes his appearance, but she shouldn't tell her sister about this. She needs to find the one who will suit her best and make her sister happy. And she also needs to understand what Cedric is like because she can't remember anything about him from the book, since she was paying all her attention to Alan. At this time, the guy says that this is why he will come, and as an apology, examine Lily and play with her. The girl understands that, in any case, both of them are good at sticking skills. And he's come up with some pretty good excuses for coming there, but at the same time, Cedric also wants to say something, and the main character realizes that she remembered why she knows almost nothing about him. This is because of his timid nature and strong caution. The guy at this time, he claims that it is good that the lady is fine. Cedric is a character that was not written about much. Even though he was a candidate for the role of the main character, he was a very considerate character and was very popular, but he was not her type. Well, when she sees him in person, it seems like he's not bad. First of all, the reason why he was one of the candidates for the main character, the point was that even though he had a shy character, he was the best knight in the Erhard Empire. And also, the second knight to the generals of the imperial family. Juliana at this time says that it is good, and she will accept Alan's apology in exchange for examining Lily. The main character thinks that her sister is making the wrong choice because isn't Cedric sitting next to her better than Alan? This guy is perfect for such a corpse to his beloved sister. Well, then the girl thinks that he is so indecisive, and then addresses him as a brother. The guy asks if she really called him brother, after which everyone looks at her in shock. And the lady tells him to come play with her next time and thinks that she will give him a chance to show himself. Thus, Cedric Royston was able to visit them without any reason. Michael and Alan also visited them. One came for work and the other as an apology, and it looks like he doesn't have a job at all. Since the guy is hanging around there, Alan is hanging around Lily, and the girl realizes that she already had an examination 14 hours ago when he passed, and even state-free medical examinations are only carried out once a year so that he knows. At this time, people say that they don't want to, and the guy claims that then the sister will scold her brother, and the main character says that he is an uncle, after which he understands that he needs to run away, but the guy just approaches her. After which, he stops Lily and says that you can't eat dessert, you can only eat it after the examination. The girl only gets angry in response to this, after which she wonders if she really has no way out to escape. But at the same moment, the lady also notices Cedric and wonders if he really came there to do some knitting. The girl immediately approaches him and then asks if he is busy, but the guy only looks at her gloomily, after which everything goes down, and the girl realizes that it seems he literally thought that he was not busy with anything. At this time, the guy asks if Lily doesn't like the fact that he's coming. The girl replies that no, and she likes it, after which she thinks that he should always be balanced in their house. Besides, he is the best option that suits her sister, but whether to choose the girl or not should be his decision. At this time, the guy claims that he also likes Lily, and the main character understands that she cannot believe it. That such a person changes dramatically when he uses a sword, but in any case from there she can observe Michael. Michael flirted like running water, carefully but naturally, and he did not cross the line, and Juliana was completely focused on work matters. The girl understands that, as she thought her little sister is not so simple, and that is why Cedric and Alan do not interfere with her during work. While Alan turns to the lady and asks if she doesn't see him, the girl just pretends that he's not there, and turns to Cedric asking what he's doing. The guy replies that it's called knitting, and asks if Lily wants to try it too. The main character understands that Cedric will definitely be the best husband for her sister. After all, he is handsome and modest and also such a cutie. Alan still turns to the lady and claims that she needs to finish the examination with the uncle. But the girl is furiously thinking why this idiot is so enthusiastic, because she knows that he promised Juliana, but if she doesn't like it, then she doesn't like it, because it's a strange feeling when magic permeates the body during a medical examination. At this time, the guy claims that today will be the last time, and the girl replies that he will do it tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow he is going to do it again, after which the guy says that their Lily is so smart. The guy tries a few more methods, and the main character thinks that no matter what he says, she won't fall for it, and he thinks that she's just an 8-year-old child. Alan claims that if he does a medical examination this time, then next time he will bring a big cake, but he will not say a word to Juliana, and she will eat it all by herself. The girl at that very moment suddenly changes her mind and screams that he must do it quickly, and also thinks that he should try to lie to her because then she will find out what he tastes like. She will tell her sister such things about him that he will never come near her again. In any case, their love is in her hands, after which the guy asks the lady to be patient a little. A little while later, he tells her that they have finished and that they have tried hard so she can eat some candy. The main character claims that he must definitely buy a big cake, to which he agrees, after which he begins to braid the lady's hair. The girl yawns at this time, but a little while later she hears something knocking. And at the same moment, he perks up and looks at his sister together with Michael. The guy claims that then they can finish their meeting today right now. The girl and 2 guys jump up from their seats. The main character immediately runs to her sister, and the girl, taking her in her arms, asks if Lily was bored while she was working. The main character replies that no, because Cedric is very good at knitting. Juliana asks if this is true, after which she looks at the guy, but he only unconsciously shudders, after which he blushes completely, and the girl claims that it seems that Lily really likes Cedric. The girl thinks that her sister is doing everything that is obvious, and yet for the main female characters in the reverse harem, this is the default setting. After all, resourcefulness is completely absent in matters concerning love, and they have a long way to go. At this time, Alan asks, what about the uncle, because he bought her cookies every time and gave her a medical examination so that she would be healthy. But the girl just turns away and at the same moment notices someone else. It turns out to be Michael. And the main character, frightened, thinks that he shouldn't smile so terribly because it seems to her that he has found out that in this body there is a soul of a 20-year-old. At this time, the blonde insists that if he wants to look good for Lily, he needs to learn to knit. At this point, Lillian sighs and realizes that he didn't doubt her and that she needs to be careful with this guy. A few days later, someone else greets Lily, and the guy asks if she doesn't like it when Uncle comes. The girl looks at Michael a little coldly and claims that she and her sister wanted to eat. The lady also wonders why this idiot always comes and ruins lunchtime. A little while ago, someone spoke to Lily and said that it was time to wake up. The main character realizes that this is her little sister and then wishes her good morning. The girl realizes that her sister's beauty is shining brighter every day, after which she gets up and asks if the men are coming today. The woman replies that she thinks Alan will come later in the evening to check her health, and the girl replies that she doesn't want to. Well, and then he realizes that the guy said he would buy a cake next time he came, and that was today. So she will finally be able to eat the big cake that they will bring. At this time, the little sister asks the lady what kind of hairstyle to do today, because you can stop at ponytails. But she did them yesterday, so it's hard to choose, and maybe she should do high braids. Lillian immediately replies that she doesn't want braids, and realizes that the back of her head hurts because of the braids. Then Juliana says that today they can do a half-tail when the girl starts working. Here, the main character looking at her little sister thinks why she is so serious when she braids her hair. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because if her sister likes it, then she likes it too. That way there will be fewer awkward moments between them. And that's how their quiet morning was. But a little while later, Michael showed up and asked if the girl wanted to have lunch with the uncle since he hadn't had time to have lunch because he was in a hurry to come. The girl thinks what kind of idiot this is and that her calm, peaceful lunch with her sister will be like an arena where they fight for power. At this time, the guy looks at her pitifully and the main character thinks that whatever happens, starving him is a bit too much, after which the girl starts to wonder how he knows that Koreans are weak in the subject of food. The girl also says that if he sits far away, they can go. The lady understands that of course she will agree because her heart is too kind. At this time, the blonde claims that it looks like Lily doesn't really like him yet, and he suggests the girl to call her the same as Royston brother. He also asks the girl for the tasty or desserts that he brings. The main character realizes that they are incredibly tasty, and then the guy asks what Lily doesn't like about it. The girl understands that this is because she doesn't like him enough to trust him with her little sister. At this time, the guy asks not to hate him too much, and the girl understands that it seems he meant that they will see each other again in the future. The lady understands that this is some kind of absurdity, and a little while later, she is already lying next to her little sister. The girl understands that she went through a dinner similar to a war, but this blockhead is also going to buy dessert. At this time, Juliana says that she hopes that Lily's pickiness in food will not get worse. At the same moment, the butler turns to Lady Juliana and claims that a guest has arrived. The girl says that if it is Michael, then there is an urgency to notify, and that means it is someone else. When the two ladies come closer, they see Cedric there. The guy immediately has a smile on his face. He turns to Juliana and the woman asks who is next to him. Cedric replies that he brought Joshua, so that he plays with Lily today, after which he tells the guy to say hello to Lily. But when the boy approaches the lady, he claims that he doesn't play with ugly girls. The main character wonders if he really decided to show off, after which she realizes that she will show him the power of influence in this world. The girl immediately turns to her little sister and says that she doesn't like this guy, and she doesn't like the brother who brought him either. Cedric is shocked by this and then turns to his nephew and asks what happened. But Joshua at this time is interested in whether the lady knows who likes her. The girl understands that this guy is nothing but trouble. And of course, this is not something an 8-year-old child can know, but calling her ugly is unforgivable. After the transmigration of the soul, when the lady looked in the mirror, she realized that she was such a cutie that you couldn't take your eyes off her. The lady immediately asks why he said that she is ugly, and the guy replies that ugly means ugly, and does she really think that she is beautiful? Cedric is beside himself at this point and insists that Joshua shouldn't talk like that. After which he turns to Juliana and claims that he apologizes for his nephew because Winston and his wife entrusted the child to him for a while, but he cannot leave him alone on the estate or take him to the imperial palace, so he took him with him. The girl replies that she is fine, but then looks at her little sister. And the main character with a smile on her face answers her sister that she is also okay. Then she points to the boy and claims that the child is ugly. The girl also claims that she went inside. After all, she wants to eat the dessert that Michael bought. At this time, someone else turns to Lily. and he suggests that they go holding hands, but the girl without hesitation answers that she doesn't want to, and wonders if he's really going to take advantage of the situation to get closer to her, like an opportunist. Well, when the girl turns around and looks at Cedric, she realizes that he looks so upset, as if he is about to cry, and then the girl tells her brother to come in too. The ladies understand that this time she will help thanks to his character and knitting. Well, she still thinks that Cedric is so docile. However, the lady wonders why his nephew's character is like that. A little while later, the main character realizes that no matter how hard it is, it's too much. At this time, the little sister turns to the lady and says that today she will eat only 2. The main character understands that there used to be 5 pieces, but the girl replies that no means no. Lillian thinks that her cuteness doesn't work. Well, what can you do, and it's good that in the evening Alan will bring her a big cake. The girl also thinks that she just needs to hold out until the evening, and at this time her sister hands Joshua dessert and tells him to eat too. The main character immediately looks angrily at the guy and wonders why he is eating tarts that she is not allowed to eat, but Michael bought these goodies for her. At this time, the young man looks at the tart in his hands and is silent for a while, and then with a grin on his face, thanks the lady, the main character wonders if this brat just smiled. And does he really think that by receiving the tart he won, that's why he smirked? At this time, Juliana tells Lily that she has her tart, so there is no need to look at her friend so angrily. The main character almost cries and tells her sister that these are her tarts, but the girl replies that in any case, today the lady can only eat 2, and just as Lily loves to eat tarts, so Joshua loves to eat them. Her Lily is kind, so she understands what her friend feels. The main character smiles for a while and realizes that it is so charming that her sister is trying to teach her to endure adversity and that she is a natural-born teacher. But everything is completely wrong. I am a girl, and I think does my sister really not understand that he is not eating the tart with a pure heart, but simply wants to tease her because she saw everything? At this time, Juliana addresses the lady by her full name, and the girl is shocked to understand that this is not her cute nickname, but her name and her little sister is unwavering when it comes to desserts. Well, the girl thinks how can her little sister treat her like this because it's a betrayal, and the girl claims that she hates her little sister. She also understands that she will not talk to the girl anymore until she says that she can eat 3 tarts. Lillian understands that no matter how ashamed she looks from this, she is only 8 years old, and if this little thing had not been brought up, everything would have been fine. The girl also thinks what to do because she doesn't think that Cedric can do anything for her, and Juliana also won't fulfill her whims. There is only one option left, and that is Michael. Although it is the other way around, she will create her own with him for a short time. After which the lady asks if he bought these cakes for her, and also calls the guy brother. After which everyone else looks at her in surprise. And the main character at this time directs her gaze to Joshua, and understands that this is a small mistake, because he tried to play unfairly on foreign soil. At this time, Michael replies that yes, and he bought it for Lily, and the girl understands that this is great because she thinks that he already understood her plan, but she still doesn't like this idiot. The lady also asks if she can then consider all the tarts as hers, and Michael replies that of course. The girl looking at him understands that this is excellent because these are the words she wanted to hear and gives the guy 10 points. Then the lady turns to Joshua and says, "If that is the case, then does he want to eat it?" The guy looks greedily at all these desserts, and the lady says that if he wants, then let him say that she is beautiful. The guy immediately blushes and screams that she is ugly, and the lady understands that he really hurt her pride. After all, he said again that she was ugly, and he laughed at saying that about her face. After which the girl moves the desserts towards herself and says that then he won't eat anymore. Juliana immediately turns to Lillian and asks what she is doing, but Michael tells Leah not to worry. After all, adults shouldn't interfere with children's games. The main character at this time takes one of the desserts and eats it. The lady also understands how wonderful it is to eat everything alone, and looking at her partner, she says that he is a liar. Because she is really beautiful, but the young man at the same moment tries to scream something else. The lady says that if he tells the truth, she will give him all the tarts, and if he doesn't want to eat dessert, she will eat everything herself. The girl understands that it seems that at home he also cannot eat desserts as much as he wants. And what will outweigh these 5 cakes or his little pride, after which the young man gets up and understands that he needs to be patient a little, and then he even says that the lady is beautiful. The main character immediately smiles and asks if she is cute. Well, the guy replies that they didn't agree on this, after which the lady says that the tarts are hers. And he understands that he is just a child, so he doesn't have to try because he won't succeed. After which the young man says that she is cute, and the girl understands that this is great. After all, this is the price of his pride, and Lily keeps her promises. The lady's sister only sighs at this time. And Michael says that Lily is somewhat similar to him, after which Cedric just nods. At this time, the lady only looks away and understands that no matter how much she doesn't like it, he won't get it from Julian because their union is dissolved from this moment. A little while later, the main character thinks that this is quite funny because now she understands why the uncles always tease the children. Because it's so refreshing and teasing is cool. A little while later, the lady says that she is Lillian. And to make it more comfortable for him, he can call her Lily, and since she introduced herself, he also needs to. But the young man at the same moment asks why he should, and besides, she knows his name. The lady claims that later she was going to eat a big cake, and it was really delicious. The blonde then shyly introduces himself to the lady with a smile on his face and realizes that this taste of teasing the child is definitely better, and it's even more fun because it's Joshua. At this time, someone else greets Lily. The girl realizes that it is Alan. Everyone else also pays attention to the guy. He asks if the girl chewed well, after which she thinks that he is so loud, and is their house really an area for gathering people? And besides, the lady looks at Alan asking about the guy whether he has forgotten what he promised her. The guy at the same moment whispers to her that he promised that he would bring a cake, but now he hid it with the help of magic so that Juliana would not take it, and the girl could eat. The main character smiles at the same moment and thinks that this is great because he also keeps his promises. At this time, Alan looks at Joshua and wonders who this child is because he looks like Cedric. Cedric replies that it is his nephew, but Alan asks why the guy brought him there, after which Cedric tells the guy to wait because he smells something and Alan looks away. After which he approaches all the people and says to Joshua, and also turns to Lily and claims that he will try to finish everything as quickly as possible. The blonde at this time wonders what he is going to do. And the main character understands that this boy is really a child, because when they tell him to run, he doesn't run, and when they tell him not to touch, he touches. Just like now, Alan said to move away, but the young man took a step closer and the girl sighed, after which he tells Joshua to listen carefully because it is very painful and scary. It really hurts, and standing so close he will be very scared. The young man starts shaking after that. And Alan picks up on the lady's idea and also looks at the guy with a stone face. After which the lady completely scares him and screams for him to run away faster. The guy screams at the same moment, and he runs to his uncle, but the main character just starts laughing at him and screams that Joshua is a fool. The girl understands that this is really a lot of fun, and Alan says that Lily has a character of her own. At this time, Juliana is watching her little sister with concern and says that her Lily is very happy. At this time, the main character looks at Joshua, who is resentfully clinging to Cedric, and he wonders if she really joked too much about him. The lady also looks at her little sister and thinks that she shouldn't worry too much. After all, her communication skills are the best in the world, and now she's just joking, and besides, a little later she'll treat the guy to a big piece of cake. A little while later, her sister already tells the girl to say hello, because from this day on, all these young men will be her friends. The main character is shocked and wonders if this is really an operation to find friends for her. But she only needs a sister, and the girl claims that she doesn't need friends. But Juliana says that if she makes friends with them, she will be able to eat twice as many desserts, after which the lady claims that in fact, she likes to make friends. Lillian wonders if her sister is really that worried about her socialization, but thinking about the double amount of desserts, the lady understands that now she will only be able to tease the kids when Juliana is not around. The girl also thinks where they all came from, after which everyone thinks why there are no girls there. A little while ago, the main character turned to her little sister and asked why this was so, and the girl answered that the brothers brought their nephews and younger brother because they don't have any nieces or sisters. But her Lily can still get along with her friends, and the woman asks if this is true. The main character understands that it's a bit of a pity that her sister says this with such a smile, but nothing can be done, and it turns out that these children were brought in as candidates for the main male role in the original, after which the girl thinks that this is great and she will prove to her sister that she has perfect communication skills without them. The lady then waves to the boys and states that her name is Lily, One of the boys also greets her, and he claims that his name is Aiden Evans. The main character understands that he is Michael's nephew, but in character this guy is like a copy of Cedric and she already wants to tease him. Another young man claims that his name is Luke Lowell and that Alan Lowell is his older brother. He also says that the lady is very sweet and the main character understands that this is a child. Just like a little copy of Alan, if you told her that this was his son, she would believe it. At this time, Juliana says that this is great and let them play together, but the girl understands that this cannot be allowed. After all, she needs to keep an eye on the men who are looking at her, so let her sister think again. And he also doesn't leave her alone, but at that very moment, Cedric comes up to her from behind, and he tells her to play with him. The girl is shocked and wonders why he stayed there. And also, is she not going to compete? A little while later, she asks if her brother has a job. However, when she sees his disappointed face, she replies that it's not so, and asks if her brother doesn't need to be close to his sister. The guy replies that he doesn't want to bother Juliana and he likes playing with Lily. Juliana immediately approaches Cedric and thanks him because she was worried that the children would be left alone while she worked. The main character looking at the guy understands that he is too shy and thinks this is his answer. Lady also doesn't think that Cedric planned it, but at least Michael is no longer seducing Ani while they are working together, and that's good. And now the lady turns to the rest of the guys and thinks how she can tease them. A few days later, the blonde boy complains that Lily is teasing him again. Juliana turns to the girl and says that she should get along with Joshua, and the main character understands that she really did nothing and is now holding back a lot because this is a false accusation. The girl also asks if her sister doesn't believe her and understands that what she was joking about is true. Well, she didn't know that Joshua would immediately run to complain. The woman at this time turns to her sweet Lily, and he claims that his sister hopes that her Lily gets along well with her friends, or that women are wondering if she really asked her for something difficult, to which the girl replies that she didn't. And Juliana claims that it's time for her to go, and that her little sister will be able to have a good time. The girl realizes that as she thought she will be able to play well, after which she turns to Joshua. But the guy immediately flinches, and the lady realizes that she wasn't going to hit him but was just joking. But as Juliana said, she should be kinder, so the girl asks the guy if he doesn't like what she does. The main character looking at the young man understands that it seems he cannot say no because of his pride. And then the lady claims that she won't do it anymore, but looking at the guy she wonders why he became even more gloomy. At this time, the young man asks if she is really 8 years old, and the girl answers that she is, after which the guy asks why she doesn't call him Big Brother. The girl wonders if he is a young old man. The lady also understands that in the West, they address each other by name without using such nicknames, and of course she uses Big Brother in relation to Cedric and Michael. Well, she wonders if there was a deviation in the novel. One of the boys asks if it's really that important to him, and then the girl claims that Luca and Aiden are her age, and should they really call him Big Brother? The guy nods in response to this, and the lady says that it's good, and from now on she will call him Big Brother. But then the girl asks when his birthday is, and the other guy replies that he knows, but it's in April. The main character thanks him, after which she understands that she needs to calculate, and if the guy's birthday is in April and now it's May, and Juliana said that her birthday was in July, then the girl says that she just needs to call him Appa for 2 months. After which the lady starts laughing loudly and asks if he is really 2 months older than her, and this is a 2-month older brother. Then the lady falls to the floor laughing. They want what is power. The brunette at this time says that Lily to the right. It suggests that she not laugh so hard. Joshua at that moment screams at the girl not to call him Big Brother, but the main characters do not say that he himself asked for this. The lady still can't calm down, after which one of the guys asks her to calm down a little because it seems like Joshua is about to cry. After which the guy starts crying and screaming. The main character is shocked and thinks that he should wait. After all, if the boy cries so loudly, the adults will immediately come running. At the same moment, the main character's sister comes there. She immediately asks what happened there, and the girl understands that everything is wrong, and she teased the guy not because she really wanted it, but then the lady thinks that nothing will come of it, and since it turned out that way in the end, she will not fix anything now. If the guy says again that it is her fault, then she will not see desserts. But then she will have sad thoughts and memories of how the professor gave her the worst grade. And because of this, starting from the first year of study, she already lost all her hopes for a scholarship for 4 years, after which the main character understands that she will go into a dirty fight and also begins to cry. People understand that she did everything she could, and Cedric told her sister that it was Joshua's fault, so everything is okay. But the woman simply turned to her sister and insisted that she would henceforth forbid her from eating desserts. The girl understands that her reason for living has disappeared, despite the fact that Lily's father, that is Count Blanchet, was a knight. He was always drawn to knowledge, as they say about him. That's why the mansion's offices were large and confusing. The couple went on an expedition and left the house, so there was no one to come and clean there. In general, this room is the perfect place for Togo to hide, and the main characters do not understand that she is acting childishly and knows it. But if she does not do this, Tony will be able to let off steam. The girl understands that she feels a little guilty, but will stay there until the evening, after which the lady hears someone entering the room. The main character wonders who it is and whether Juliana really found her so quickly, or whether she is not looking. After all, the girl never even called her by name. At that moment, one of the guys approaches the lady and asks if it's Lily. The girl asks if it's Aiden, after which the guy replies that everyone is looking for her. And he also says that he needs to go quickly and call the others, but at that very moment the lady pulls him by the clothes, from which the guy falls down, and the lady wonders if she really pulled him too hard because she doesn't think that's the case. The girl immediately shows him to be quieter, and the guy claims that he thinks her voice will be louder. At this time, the main character looks down and the guy wonders if she is hiding. The girl looks at Aiden and then tells him not to tell anyone, otherwise she will take all his desserts and eat them. To which he agrees, and the lady asks what he is doing there since she didn't know that he would come today. The young man claims that his uncle said that it would be good if he helped to console her, because desserts are forbidden. But since the lady disappeared today, he decided to read a book. Lily understands that he heard that she disappeared, but she thinks only about books, and he was so similar to Cedric, but after all, he is a guy from Michael's cowardly family. However, the young man with a smile on his face claims that he is glad that he found her. The main characters at this time also pay attention to the book in his hands. The title of this book is Political Science and the Political System, after which the girl asks if he really reads and understands such things. Lily wonders if he's her age, after which she claims that the guy really is a genius. He's only 8 years old and he's reading about politics, and it looks like the culture of upbringing in the Evans family. The guy at this time answers that, no, and everyone is the same as him. People understand that this is a genius boy, Aiden, who loves books, and he is completely different from Michael. The girl asks if he will read a book there and if she should leave, but at that moment the boy grabs her hand and replies that if she doesn't answer, she can stay. Lily is shocked and wonders if he really likes her, and it is possible to believe one love and the child is his childhood friend. And besides, she has such a face that one can't help but like it, and she also likes her face and Juliana's face. But this time, even the face that can save the country will never be able to melt the ice in her soul. Aiden at this time wonders what Lily is thinking about. She has a strange expression on her face. He also asks if she wants to have dessert and whether he should bring it to her. The girl asks if he can really bring it, and the guy replies that if he tells his uncle that he wants to eat, he will give him dessert. After which the guy claims that he will return soon, and the lady asks him to wait, and understands that because of this, Michael will definitely understand that Aiden is bringing him to her and will immediately tell her sister about it. The lady also claims that when he comes out of there, there will be a room with food on the right, but she saw how sister hides, desserts there. The girl asks if he will bring them from there, but for Uncle Michael, this must be a secret. The young man replies that it is good and he will return soon, but the lady tells him to wait. After which, he kisses the guy on the cheek and tells him to get there without incident. The lady understands that this is a sign of gratitude, and Aiden immediately blushes. The main character smiles and understands that children's first love is really sweet. A little while later, the girl is already stretching and realizes that she has eaten well. She also leans towards Aiden and leaning on him states that she wants to sleep, and he also asks if she can sleep on his lap because he can put a book on her face. The guy asks if she really wants to sleep because in that case it would be better for her to lie down on the bed, but the lady replies that she is hiding. After which she begins to close her eyes, and seeing the boy's face, she thinks if he really likes it that much, but let him drink some milk and come back when he grows up in 10 years, because by that time she will have thought about it at least once. A little while later, someone approaches Lily and asks her to come to her senses. The girl realizes that this is a very familiar voice and that she has most likely been caught. Lily wonders why she did this if she can't take responsibility and can continue to pretend to be asleep. At this time, the lady's sister turns to her and suggests that she get up because she knows that the girl is not sleeping. At the same moment, the main character slowly rises and smiles, but her sister screams, "Does the girl even imagine?" The main character understands that this is a big problem because her sister is very angry. Well, the woman hugs the girl and continues to ask if she can imagine how worried her sister was, after which she starts to cry, and the main character is shocked and wonders what to do, and what would be the best choice. She didn't know that her sister would be so worried, and you could say that she knew, but she acted like an idiot and a real child. At this time, the woman wonders if the girl did this because she forbade her from eating desserts, and wonders if she even knows how long she had been looking for her. The main character changes and claims that next time she will not tease Joshua and will eat well. She also apologizes and asks her not to cry. The girl understands that the two sisters are very dear to each other. Well, she still thinks whether she can accept all this if she is not her real sister. It doesn't seem like she's making a big mistake, but the lady doesn't know how to go back. If she knew, she would leave this body right now because she's so sorry she can't do it, so she claims it will be better from now on. Juliana claims that Lily did the wrong thing today because she, Michael, and the rest of the people in the house were looking for her. Of course, they themselves are to blame for not inspecting the rooms as thoroughly, but even if the older sister upset her with something, then let her not disappear so suddenly anymore, and the girl asks if she agrees. Well, the main character understands that her younger sister has already disappeared because, having ended up in the book, she, in addition to destroying her life, it also ruins the lives of others. The girl also wonders why this wasn't described in the novellas she read. But the girl understands that she cannot return, and even if there is a way, she does not know if she will be okay, so she will do everything possible to make her older sister happy. The girl understands that she was making fun of the three children and forgot a little about what she wanted to do initially. This is to protect Juliana from the author's selfish texts. And she has a better chance of doing that now because she's done a lot of damage, so it's time to take control of this particular selfish idiot. A little while later, the blonde asks Lily if she wants to play with her peers, but the girl replies that she will be next to her sister and understands that she will be watching him. But the blonde replies that she will not be interested in listening to their conversations. Well, then her little sister says that if the girl wants, she can stay, and the lady replies that yes, she wants to be near her little sister. At this time, the girl strokes the baby and tells her to sit quietly in exchange for agreeing to something. The main character understands that she stayed, and this is a success, and now she needs to move on to the next plan. She will demonstrate her drawing skills and draw the most beautiful Juliana in the world, and also pretty herself. For a long time they lived happily in the big Blanchett mansion, and there was no Michael Allen was not there either. The girl also thinks about Cedric and thinks that she doesn't know about him, so she'll just draw visual needles and threads. And also add your favorite dessert there, and a little while later the lady understands that the picture drawn by the hand of an 8-year-old is finished. A little while later the lady shows this picture to her sister, and she understands that this is the picture that Picasso will cry about, and it is ideal. Juliana wonders if the girl really painted this. She also says that the lady drew so well and offers Michael to take a look. The main character understands that she did not want to disturb them, but she really likes the praise. Yulana says that the lady also drew knitting needles and Lily likes Cedric. At this time, the blonde notices that there are no parents there, and the main character understands that this idiot changed the subject as soon as Cedric was mentioned. The girl replies that she was drawing herself and her sister, and Juliana is a little downcast and claims that her parents are so busy that they do not visit the mansion. Michael claims that she did say that they went on an expedition, to which the lady replies that she sent them a letter in which she said that Lily had finally woken up, but there was no answer. Lily Hale says that if she is worried, then maybe he should send someone, and the girl asks if this is possible. The guy at this time turns to Lily and asks if she misses her mom and dad. The main character thinks that this impudent fellow cleverly fools people, and he is not even a smart character strategist. Well, she's not that simple, so the lady claims that she's bored, but she's having fun with her sister, Leah, and brother Cedric, so everything's fine. The guy twitches a little at this point, and the main character realizes that she didn't think Cedric's name would come up again. But he didn't play with her, so there's nothing to say about him. The girl tells her sister that last time her brother Cedric gave her a ride on his shoulders, and the girl asks if that's true. And Lily adds that the time before last they played hide-and-seek, and when Joshua and Luca played with the ball, it flew away and got stuck in a tree. Cedric climbed the tree and got the ball. Her sister replies that the guy is trying hard, and Michael answers that this is true, after which he asks if Lily will play with her uncle today. The girl replies that it's good and thinks that he's been caught, but if he wants to be close to Juliana, then he will first have to defeat her, and the next day, Alan also comes to the estate. He asks if Mikhail is here today, after which the lady sees a package in the guy's hands. And then he approaches him and sniffs, thinking about what kind of dessert it is today. Luca claims that Lily looks like a dog. At this time, Juliana enters the room and claims that it seems that Michael was overtired yesterday when he was Lily's horse. Alan, in shock, asks what she is talking about, after which he smiles and claims that he is also waiting for victory, both at the academy, and now Sister Lady claims that she thinks it's just her character. Alan at this time asks if she remembers how Evans arranged it with her, because then he tripped and fell. The main character looking into the package realizes that these are puddings, and the lady thinks that this is a good choice. Besides, since Michael is not here today, Aiden will not be here either, and she will eat more pudding. Alan claims that if he never comes again, that would be fine because isn't the meeting time over? The girl asks if he still doesn't get along with Michael, to which the guy replies that compared to him, he doesn't get along with Cedric any better, but of course she didn't like Rowan the most. The main character understands that if you think about it, this guy hasn't come back since he was rejected and he has no willpower at all. Alan would be better in this regard, but she doesn't think she'll help him. The lady immediately turns to her sister and asks if she can spend the whole day with her today. The girl asks if she really wants to be with her, and the main character replies that she does. And they suggest playing hide-and-seek with Luca and Cedric, and then when Joshua comes, they will play with him too. At this time, Alan asks, "What about the uncle?" And the main character with a smile on her face replies that they will invite the uncle too. The man smiles at the same moment, but Luca asks Lily if she didn't say that she doesn't like hide-and-seek because it's childish. The girl thinks what a pain this guy is, and she can't say that because Juliana thinks that she likes hide-and-seek. The young man says that it was last time when he asked Aiden to play hide-and-seek, to which the lady replies that no, and that Aiden then said that he doesn't like hide-and-seek because he likes to read. Well then, the guy replies that no, it was the lady who said that, and the girl thinks what a jerk he is, and let him show at least a little appropriate ingenuity. The main character immediately points to one side and asks if that's where Cedric's brother is. When they turn around, the lady grabs Luca by the shoulder and turns him towards her, after which he shows him with his fingers that if another word comes out of his mouth, then she eats the whole pudding herself, and at that moment, the guy goes silent. The lady turns to the adults and says that it seems she was mistaken, after which she looks at the young man and as if to tell him to quickly tell her that she likes hide-and-seek. "Hey guys, it seems he got it wrong because it was Aiden who said that he doesn't like hide-and-seek." The woman then says that it seems so because Aiden found the girl in the office with books. The main character understands that everything worked out, and today she also protected her sister's innocent soul. At the same moment, one of the butlers turns to Lady Juliana and claims that he is the son of the Marquis of Cleone, asks her for a meeting. The main character is shocked and wonders if Rowan has really decided to show up. The girl understands that she just scolded him as weak-willed, but he still cannot be a good aristocrat. The lady tells Luca to take the pudding and can eat it first. The girl also understands that before eating the pudding she needs to do something. She immediately jumps on her little sister and offers to go together, and also understands that no matter how she tries to change everything, history is trying to return to its course. If Rowan interferes again and she can't stop it, then everything will most likely go back to the original, so she has to stop it. The little girl understands that her sister cannot be with this idiot, and the woman at this time asks if Lily can play with Luca. The girl understands that this cannot be allowed because she must go with her sister, otherwise he can lure her into a trap. The girl immediately screams that she doesn't want to, and her sister claims that she will quickly talk to this guy, and he will quickly return to them, and she can also eat not one but 2 puddings. The main character wonders if she can eat one with custard, and the second one with chocolate, and almost agrees. But then he realizes that it's impossible, because even if Putin is the end of his ways, he can't let his sister go alone, and the lady immediately grabs her sister. Then Alan says that he will go with him, because he would also like to look at his face. The main character immediately smiles and thinks that this is great, because let Alan follow his sister and be a good obstacle. The girl also understands that he has no shortage of courage, so she will call him brother. Juliana says that he can visit him later, and then they will talk because the guy probably came on business. The main character understands that he will again press on her weak spot, and they will go through all possible hardships. Alan at this time claims that he doubts that he will come to him, and he will just greet the guy so that they can go together, but the girl replies that someone should look after the children, after which she asks him to do it, and also claims that she will return soon. So she wishes them to have a good time. And when she leaves, Alan is perplexed. The main character understands that if Michael had been there, he would have definitely convinced her, but for some reason he got overtired at the wrong time. They stick to her like ghosts only when they are unnecessary. But at that very moment, someone else enters the room, and the main character realizes that she is just like this pathetic guy. The girl also wonders if Michael left his nephew with Cedric and waves to the children. Aiden smears her back and Joshua turns away in displeasure. Alan at this time turns to Cedric and claims that this is how it happened. So let him look after the children, but his interlocutor is interested in where the guy is heading. Alan replies that Rowan Cleone has just arrived to see Juliana. He also claims that there is no time, so he will go first. And let the guy take care of the children. The main character understands that she is a little worried that Alan is going alone. But if she goes alone, then Cedric will stop her, but if they all go together and this little thing agrees, then it might work out. But if they follow her out of interest, then when her sister catches her, she can come up with an excuse, and then the lady comes up with something, and also asks if the boys want to play. Lily says that she won't repeat it twice, so let them listen carefully. Now they will be on a secret mission, and it is a very important mission in which no one should catch them. She will be the leader, and her brother Cedric will be the commander, and they will all be her subordinates. Well then, Joshua claims that he also wants to be a leader and asks why it should be a girl. The main character at this time claims that if he allows her to be the leader, she will give up her pudding. The guy nods at the same moment, and the lady understands that this is great and they can also move forward. A little while later, they all follow each other, and the main character realizes that they are almost there. The girl wonders if Alan is not there, he should already be inside, but what if not? So he really got lost and is now wandering. The lady immediately leans against the door, and the others do the same. At the same moment, the girl hears her sister asking if it turns out that he is asking her to become his partner. The main character immediately opens the door and screams that it's no good, and also thinks what kind of nonsense this is. Juliana asks Lily why she is there and then also sees Cedric. She asks why the guy is there and where Alan is. The main character answers that Uncle Alan went after her. She also understands that this idiot couldn't even get there, which is why something irreparable almost happened. At this time, Juliana asks what is going on there, and Cedric claims that they are playing a secret mission. The main character immediately claims that she suggested it, but still asks her sister what the uncle said. And did he really ask to be his partner again? If so, then it turns out that his sister will leave him again. Rowan is silent at this time, but at that very moment someone addresses him, causing the guy to shudder. It turns out to be Cedric. Rowan immediately feels pressure, but Juliana tells Cedric not to scare Rowan. The guy replies that he is not scared and is just glad to see him after a long time. But at the same moment, the main character once again turns to her sister and asks how this man spoke about the partnership. The woman at this time says that Lily cannot do this in front of the guests. Rowan immediately gets up from his seat and states that he thinks today is just not the day, so he will write to Juliana. The girl tells him to wait. The main character understands that Cedric did a good job. Rowan immediately runs out of the room and claims that he will send the letter. Juliana then turns to Cedric, and he says that he shouldn't have brought the kids there. The guy immediately apologizes dejectedly, and the main character turns to her sister and claims that it was she who asked. The woman wonders whether Lily also just wanted to greet the guest or not. The girl replies that if her sister dates this man, she will go far, far away. Juliana looks at her little sister, then hugs her and claims that she is not going anywhere, and also wonders why Lily continues to think this way. Cedric at this time turns to Juliana, and he starts talking about the partner Cleone asked about. If we are talking about the banquet on the occasion of the prince's birthday, then the guy asks her if she would like to go there with him. The main character thinks how their shy girl has become bolder. But they say that still waters run deep and the guy has plucked up his courage. The girl understands that Rowan also invited her, so she will show kindness one more time. The main character immediately turns to her sister and claims that she also wants her to go with Cedric, but when her sister wants to say something about Rowena, then the girl immediately screams that she doesn't like that man because he's weak-willed compared to Cedric. The girl also turns to the guy and understands that she is helping him with all her might, and also that he is really just standing there, so he should quickly do something. The guy at the same time claims that children can also be present at this banquet, so Lily and Joshua can go together. The main character thinks why she and Joshua should go there, but her sister claims that it is a good idea. Then he turns to Lily and asks if she likes it. The girl then understands that if they like it, that's why she just decided to stop thinking. A little while later, Alan screams that he thought he teleported into the living room. The guy also asks why he ended up in the wrong place, but Juliana wonders if she didn't tell him. What if you use teleportation in the house? Then the final destination will be the basement warehouse, and the guy replies that she didn't say that. Well, the girl also wonders why he would use teleportation. The main character understands that this is why he was not in the guest room, and next time before using magic, he will ask. Juliana at this time also claims that she cannot understand why all of them and even Cedric do not like Rowan, after which they all fall silent, and the main character thinks that it is only the older sister. Doesn't understand what's going on. The lady also looks at Joshua, who is engrossed in eating desserts. The girl realizes that he now has 4 puddings, but 2 of them were originally hers. Well, if Aiden hadn't come, all 4 would have been hers. The blonde at this time closes his puddings and wonders why the lady keeps looking at him. The main character thinks what a rude man he is and understands that he will steal everything and eat it. Juliana claims that she thinks that Lily and Joshua quarrel a lot, but the girl gets along with Luca and Aiden. But Cedric says that Joshua woke up first today and was ready to go out almost immediately, so he doesn't think that the guy doesn't love Lily. The main character wonders if the guy really likes her and he grumbles. At this time, Alan asks if the lady talked about the banquet in honor of the prince's birthday next month. The girl replies that His Highness the Prince has allowed children of Lily's age to be present. The girl really likes to eat various sweets, so she will take her with her. The main character understands that her sister knows her very well, and all the food will be prepared by chefs from the Empire. There will be many handmade cakes made by the most famous chefs, and many heavenly desserts that don't even compare to the usual ones. Alan is interested at this time. Does Luca want to go together? To which the guy agrees. Aiden also raises his hand and states that he wants to go too. Juliana says that she will tell Michael about this, and she thinks that he will happily agree. Aiden. At this time, he hands his pudding to the lady, and the main character thinks that this is true because in their time it is not worth arguing with the person she likes, and it is better to show attention. The girl immediately thanks Aiden and claims that she likes people who care about others like him. The girl also thinks that Joshua should look at this because this is how you should treat the person you like. The blonde is silent for a while, after which he turns to the main character, and handing her a pudding, he asks if she wants to eat one, to which the lady rejoices. And Juliana says that it will be good if Lily doesn't get into trouble there. The girl replies that she will be as quiet as a mouse. And he understands that, by the way, a dance evening is a very nerve-wracking event for a native Korean. She is so glad that she is still a child, because if she is clumsy, then everyone will understand, but something worries her, and the girl asks if her sister will dance at the banquet. The girl answers that if Lily wants, then they will do so. The main character then asks if her sister should put on a beautiful dress and not a sagging and nondescript one. But at the same moment, her little sister claims that Lily has no clothes, so she doesn't even know what to do, because there is probably no free time left to book a boutique. Alan asks if the dress is so important, and Juliana replies that it's natural because this is her sweet Lily's first banquet, therefore she needs to look beautiful. A little while later, Mikhail states that he thinks blue suits Lily better, and the woman replies that she thought pastel colors would look good because Lily has pink hair, but the image becomes completely invisible. At this time, the guy says that they also tried on dark colors, and he was also surprised that the gray color didn't suit her either. Several hours have passed since this dress was chosen, and at this time the little sister turns to Lily and also wonders if she will try this one on too. The girl in her thoughts asks someone to stop these crazy people. The lady clearly remembers how Juliana claimed that there was no free time left in Madame Dwell's boutique. Michael at this time, he claims that two dark colors worsen Lily's complexion, so he thinks that blue would be a good choice. Her sister replies that she thought so too, and the main character understands that Michael Evans is a rogue, and he used his chance because others don't understand dresses. The lady at this time says that, since Lily likes to eat more than dance, a comfortable dress would be the best option, after which she turns to Madame Dwell and asks her to make the design of the dress more loose. The woman also says that the two of them can sit down. Well, the lady replies that everything is fine, and besides, she wants to do it herself, and wonders if it would be tactless. The woman at the same time comes to you good delight, and the main character understands that she is sure that this girl will create about 100 dresses for her sister. Michael at this time claims that velvet is heavy and collects a lot of dust, so silk will do, and the lady's sister claims that since the dress should be loose, she thinks that organza fabric will do. After which, the lady turns to the boutique owner and says what needs to be done, and the woman replies that she understood them. The main character at this time mentally apologizes to the lady and understands that her sister is too active in this regard. And the person next to her is almost the same, and a little while later Juliana says that she is glad that Michael helped her because otherwise she would have gotten into trouble. Alan gets up from his seat and asks if they are finished, to which the lady replies that they are, and they decided to sew first and then try on. Cedric says that he thinks Lily will look great in anything, and Juliana replies that of course she will because she is her little sister. A little while later, they also enter the children's room, and the main character thinks what slackers they are. After all, while she was suffering, they did not enjoy peace and quiet. Juliana turns to Lily and says that she tried hard. Then he asks if they should go eat desserts. The girl replies that yes, but she tells her sister that she will eat when everyone leaves, and she wants dessert for dinner. The lady understands that they were probably all waiting for desserts, but no way they should have at least once asked if she was okay. The girl also understands that today's dessert is completely hers. A little while later, the lady realizes that it seems like it was just yesterday. Finally, the day has come, and soon she will be able to try desserts from the Imperial Palace. A little while later, the girl is already heading to the Imperial Palace with her sister. Juliana says that if a girl wants to go somewhere, then she should definitely tell her to always go with friends, and that she agrees. Lily also thinks that her sister should just pay attention to Cedric. Well then, the main character notices that he is not around, and at that very moment someone turns to Juliana, after which he asks for forgiveness for the fact that he was a little late. This road was blocked, so he got off earlier and ran there and entrusted Josh to Evans. At this time, the main character looks at the guy's shirt and points out that the buttons need some work. But this is the first time she sees something like this. At this time, Juliana tells Cedric that everything is fine. After which, she asks him to lower his head a little and fixes the guy's hair. Cedric is immediately embarrassed, and the main character thinks that she would even believe it. If someone said that there was a relationship between them, a little while later, Alan and Michael also approach, and the guy with blue hair claims that Juliana is very beautiful today. Sikhail says that she is always beautiful. He also wonders if the Emperor has yet given a congratulatory speech, and the main character understands that the little thing has also dressed up. Michael claims that he doesn't think he will come because he is the second prince. The main character thinks that the second prince doesn't deserve the appropriate treatment. He is her age but has never appeared in naval, so the girl doesn't even know what he is like. Well then, the lady pays attention to this place and realizes that it looks like paradise. At this time, Cedric turns to Juliana and, kissing her hand, asks if she would like to dance with him. The main character understands that if she were her sister, she would fall for this, and most likely it would be a direct hit. But Juliana is Juliana, so the woman simply agrees. The main burning then tells her sister that she and the guys will eat something tasty. Juliana also tells the girl not to go far from Michael and Alan, and the main character thinks that she shouldn't worry and have fun because she won't cause any problems, and Aiden shouldn't worry either, but she's still a little worried about Luca and Joshua. Aiden at this time turns to Lily and claims that it seems there is chocolate cake there, after which he asks if he should bring her a piece. The girl replies yes and thanks him. Michael claims that he also wants to find the treats that Lily likes and asks if the boy will wait there. Alan also tells Evans to stay put because he will do it himself, and the main character understands that these idiots are going crazy. I wonder what is going on between Cedric and Juliana. The girl also claims that she will be there so that they both can go because she wants to eat a lot of things. The main character realizes that she gave them a chance. At this time, one of the guys claims that Leah said that at least one should stay with the children. Then Michael says that Lowell should stay, but the guy replies that their Lily is so smart that he thinks that everything will be fine with her. The main character understands that if it were Cedric, he would never leave her alone, so she doesn't know if Juliana will grumble. The girl also looks at Luca and asks where Joshua is. The guy replies that there are a lot of people there, so he just left. After all, he doesn't like all this. The main character asks him what he's talking about, after which he jumps up, and also understands that then it was necessary to tell her only then to leave. The lady immediately runs out into the street, and she cries out to Luca that she will quickly find Joshua and return and let him stay there. The young man says that the elder one told her to be there, to which the lady replies that she will indeed return right away. A little while later, the girl runs out into the street and calls Joshua. She claims that if the guy doesn't show up right now, next time she won't give him desserts. Lily realizes that if it gets even darker, she doesn't think she'll be able to find him, after which she screams at the guy again. When the lady comes down the stairs, she sees a boy with blonde hair, after which she grabs him by the shoulder and addresses him. Well, when the young man turns to the lady, the girl thinks that she made a mistake but does not understand who it is. At this time, the young man is wondering who this girl is, and the main character understands that this is the second prince. Lily wonders if she should address the prince respectfully, but he speaks to her informally. Well, then the girl understands that because of the informal relationship, she would not like to be left without a head, and this is a bit ambiguous. The girl immediately says that she confused him with another person and understands that this is called talking to oneself and running away. At this time, the young man asks how she dared to touch him, and the girl understands that judging by his manner of communication, he is definitely the second prince. Taking a closer look, she sees that he doesn't look like Joshua at all because the guy has white hair and red eyes, and he even looks like a little rabbit. Lily bows and claims that she couldn't recognize him right away, so she was rude and she's very sorry. The girl understands that usually in novels in the romantic fantasy genre, the hero who moved knows the story, but she does not understand why she does not even know the guy's name. At this time, the young man asks what family she is from, after which the lady bows. And she claims that she is the second daughter of Count Blanchett, and her name is Liliana Blanchett. Well, after which they look at each other, and the main character thinks why he just stared. And is this guy also fascinated by her? Well, she already has enough of Aiden and Joshua. But at that very moment, the lady again remembers Joshua and understands that her sister and Cedric will soon finish dancing, and Michael and Aslan will return. When the prince turns to the lady again, she only bows and cries out that she is very busy now. If he has any questions for her, let him ask them at the next meeting. The girl leaves the prince alone and goes to look for Joshua. A little while later, the girl runs and screams at him. She also understands that maybe she should just stop searching because they will be punished anyway, and moreover, her strength is running out. When a lady falls on a shelf, she realizes that she has no strength at all because she hasn't had dinner. But at that very moment, someone approaches her, and the lady realizes that it is Joshua. The main character immediately screams out to him, and he wonders if he even knows how long she was looking for him. Recently, the guy was sitting in a tree and heard the lady screaming at him. He claims that he heard her calling him recently, and the lady says that if he heard, then why didn't he answer? The girl hits the guy on the head and thinks what a child he is, then the lady drags him along with her. And she understands that she is also babysitting this idiot, but he was sitting in a tree. although she looked for him so diligently, and the guy should be glad that she is not Juliana. At this time, the blonde screams out why the girl hit him, and the main character is about to answer something. But at the same moment, the guy gets scared, and the main character freezes and also understands what happens is that she did a bad thing, but she is also 8 years old, but she still spoke very angrily, after which the girl lightly hits the guy on the head and asks him not to do that again because he knows how difficult it was to find him. Aiden turns to Lily at this time and claims that he didn't think the lady would say that. The main character, looking at the guy with a dessert in his hands, thinks that he is such a wonderful boy and has already learned what she likes, and also brought only what she likes. The girl also asks, "What about her sister?" And the guy replies that she has not returned yet. Well, the main character wonders if the dance music hasn't ended yet, after which the young man also claims that his uncle has just arrived. Michael immediately pushes his friend, and Alan turns to the lady and also claims that she promised not to go anywhere. The girl just points at Joshua as if telling him to take a look because the reason is this guy. Michael says he doesn't think he should have left, but the girl did a good job of finding Joshua. The main character claims that the uncles left them to look at their sister, and if she says so, then it's still okay. The lady understands that at first she did not even think of saying anything, but because of the search for Joshua, her promise went down the drain. At this time, Michael asks Lily to think carefully because it was she who said that they could go together. At this time, the girl claims that Juliana does not like people who make excuses. The girl also hands one of the desserts to Joshua, and the young man takes it and claims that he really hates her. The main character says that if Joshua lies, he will grow a tail, and at that very moment, the guy looks at his back. And the main character starts laughing. At this time, Juliana comes up to Lily and says that she probably ate a lot of desserts. The main character immediately runs up to her sister and wonders if she knows how hard it was for her while the girl was dancing with Cedric, but when the main character looks at the guy, she notices that something has changed in him. Alan also looks at him and claims that he has a tie on that he didn't have before. The main character is shocked and wonders if the button couldn't withstand the pressure during the dance. The guy claims that he put on the same tailcoat that he wore several years ago, and Juliana adds that they were tidying up the place, which is why they were late. Alan immediately claims that we should have gone to the guest room first, and the main character thinks, did they really feel it too? After all, it was a weak but no less embarrassing, slightly tickling atmosphere. So the chaotic ball for them ended, and everything returned to their peaceful, everyday life. After the ball, the relationship between Juliana and Cedric improved. Michael Besco was restless about it, and he sent Cedric strange and unimaginable clothes as a gift. The girl understood that these clothes did not suit him at all. A little while later, Aiden turns to Lily and asks if she will sleep there too today. The main character replies that no, and Luca and Joshua are actively playing ball, but Michael and Alan are not there, so she is bored. The main character understands that Juliana and Cedric spend time only together, and the girl thinks whether they will be jealous when they find out about this, because everyone wants to get Juliana's love in order to marry her. The girl immediately gets up from her seat and asks Aiden if he likes her, and if he wants to marry her. The guy is only embarrassed by this and claims that they say so, but the girl interrupts him and claims that in order to marry her, you need to have a lot of money. He should also allow her to eat 5 desserts every day before they are born, and also be strong and smart. The lady also thinks that the guy should cheer up, but as she thought a child is a child. After which she also turns to Aiden and tells him to wake her up in an hour. In response to this, the guy agrees, and exactly an hour later, the lady is already approaching her little sister. But Juliana at the same moment asks if Lily really did something in the imperial palace. The woman claims that a letter came from the second prince, and the girl understands that it was not worth relying on Avos. The main character immediately hears someone pat her on the back and thinks that the guy doesn't know what she did, and also whether he was really going to leave her there alone. Cedric claims that perhaps Lily didn't create problems, and the girl understands that this is true because the only thing she did was grab someone by the shoulder, thinking it was Joshua, and ran away after the conversation. The girl immediately turns to her sister and tells her to give this letter to her because she wants to read her letter herself. When the main character looks at it, she understands that her sister did not open it, but still does not understand how Juliana found out that it was from the second prince. When the girl turns the letter over, she understands that now everything is clear because it is addressed to her. The prince wrote that at the last ball the lady said that if he had something to say, they could talk in person. So he writes her a letter, and he would like to apologize for his rudeness to her last time, because he didn't have time to tell her this then, and now he wants to invite her to his palace to make a proper apology, and also encloses a pass to the imperial palace. It also says that the letter is from Carlisle Evans. The main character reading this last name is surprised and then turns to Aiden, and he wonders if he is a relative of the emperor, but the guy asks if it matters. After all, he has nothing to do with the inheritance sent, and the strongest candidate is the first prince, and after him the second, and after them his father. Lily understands that the one she has been teasing all the time is related by blood to the emperor, so she should have understood this even when Michael said that he was the Archduke. The girl thought that this was just an appeal because of his power and influence, and also asking the guy, will she forgive him if she did something to him? The guy tells Lily to just forget. And Juliana pats her sister on the head and claims that in any case, she is glad that Lily did not get into trouble, after which she apologizes for the misunderstanding. She also turns to the little girl and asks if she wants to visit the imperial palace, because if she accepts the invitation, she will have to decide when and send a response. Lily asks if she can go with me, and the woman says it's okay if she politely declines. The girl understands that she thinks he's slowly falling in love with her, but doesn't want to do anything annoying. However, the desserts in the palace taste fantastic, after which the lady states that she wants to go and eat desserts there, to which her sister agrees. When the main character pays attention to Aiden, she realizes that he is now exactly like Michael, and she even felt uneasy. The guy at this time turns to Lily and asks if he can go with her then. The main character wonders if he is jealous now, but Aiden still behaves like an adult. That's why she thinks there won't be any problems. The girl said so, but now she was in front of the prince. She sees his displeased face, and the boy claims that he did not come to see Miss Blanchett. The girl at this time watches these two and thinks that cocoa is so delicious. Aiden claims that Sister Lily is helping his uncle at a gathering of aristocrats, so he is now looking after her. He also asks if he can ask about how the prince met Liliana, and the girl understands that they are cousins, and what kind of atmosphere of struggle is this because they are her age. The guy with a smile on his face claims that it just had to happen, and looks at the main character. The girl understands that it was not something special and not even close, so let him not look at her as if she was a person from his old memories. And he left claiming that last time he behaved impolitely because of the suddenness, and the main character asks why he did this. The guy claims that he invited the lady therefore, but at that moment Aiden interrupts him and asks if Lily wants to eat a portion of these desserts. The prince adds that he called her to meet again, but the brunette says that if not this dessert, then maybe she wants a cake and shows how much can be cut off. But at that moment, the prince furiously puts down his cup of tea and an aura of bloodthirstiness hangs between them. Lily immediately turns to Aiden, and this is what the prince said. The girl also turns to Carlisle, and she claims that, to be honest, she only came there for the desserts, so she thinks they should behave appropriately. All this will later become a dark past. Well, and the prince at this time claims that the lady can come and eat desserts at any time. Lily asks if he can send them to her mansion, to which the guy replies that it is difficult, because then he won't be able to see her. The main character understands that he is not 10 years old but 30, and she thinks why it happened that way because while looking for a husband for her sister, she collected a whole reverse harem. The girl understands that it is all Cedric's fault, because if he had not brought Joshua, everything would have been fine. The lady also realizes that she is deducting 50 points from Cedric Royston, after which people claim that if this continues, it will become difficult for her. Even if she acts like an adult, she is only 8 years old and she just loves desserts, and her sister. The girl realizes that she doesn't have enough hands to fully protect her. After the ball men like Rowan began to shower her sister with letters, and she had to get up at the crack of dawn to hide them. And then she pretended to be asleep again, and besides the kids, she already had her hands full with worries. Then the prince asks, how about becoming friends? The main character understands that starting with friendship is a classic scheme, and the guy claims that every week he will send the imperial pastry chef to her. The girl immediately smiles and replies that this is great because then from this day on they can be friends. At this time, Aiden tells Lily that he can send him, but the main character thinks that the guy should relax. After all, the two of them are objects of ridicule in her eyes. The girl also tells the prince that they will decide, so then. Well, the guy suggests calling him by his name, and the main character replies that she understands, after which she does so. The lady claims that since they are now friends and in order to become closer, maybe she should also speak less formally. The lady understands that she is the only one using respectful speech there, and that this is unfair, to which the guy replies that he didn't even think about it. And he definitely likes it. The main character realizes that she was going to make fun of him. But the guy has a smile like a rabbit, after which the girl says that it's great now. Carlisle and Aiden should live in peace because her friend's friend is also her friend, but when the boys look at each other, their faces become gloomier, but the main character doesn't pay attention to this and continues to gobble up desserts. Corral, as promised, sent the imperial cook every weekend. Juliana, of course, was not happy about this. The girl understood that she couldn't send the cook or the desserts back because it was sincerely from the second prince, and she couldn't watch how many desserts Lily ate. So the girl set up rules for sharing desserts, and when the cook came, 3 children were invited. Well, the main character understands that even this cannot cool her love for desserts, but at the same moment the lady feels some pain and understands that another problem has arisen. Aiden at the same moment asks what happened, and Joshua asks where it hurts. The girl sees an expression on Joshua's face that seems to say that he knew it. Luca insists that Lily should not frown when eating desserts, but the girl suggests that he focus on the dessert. Aiden excitedly asks if Lily has a toothache, and the main character mentally asks them to be quieter. The girl says that they should listen carefully because this also concerns them, and if her sister hears this, she will definitely say that she told me to eat so many desserts. And from today on, she can no longer eat sweets, and desserts will be banned, and she also told the imperial chef not to come. The girl says that this is what will happen and asks if they got it. Luca then asks what to do, and Joshua asks why she doesn't pull out the bad tooth. The main character thinks that this Joshua is like always, but she still doesn't understand what to do, and whether it's possible to cure a tooth with the help of magic, because there is no modern medicine there. Aiden claims that it will be worse if she leaves everything as it is. Hey girl understands that she knows. After which the young man asks, how about asking Togo's older brother Luke? The main character understands that this is Alan, and when they will be alone together at the medical examination, then she will get a chance, and one day the lady turns to Alan as an older brother. The guy immediately becomes shocked and asks why the girl suddenly called him brother. The girl asks if he can fulfill one of her requests, and Alan asks what it is. He also asks if the girl wants more dessert or to see magic. Let her also not forget to tell Juliana that her older brother is so cool and played with Lily. But the girl replies that it is not that, let him promise that he will not tell his sister about it. The guy asks what she is talking about, and the lady claims that first he must promise her that he will not tell, to which he agrees. The girl whispers that she has a toothache, but she wants to continue eating desserts, after which he asks if he will help her. The guy then turns to Lily, and with a kind smile he asks if she will then call him Big Brother. The main character understands that he also wants to use her to gain points in front of Juliana. After which the lady says that this is only for one time and tells the guy that this is why she should brush her teeth well, and the lady says that she will do so in the future. The guy also claims that he doesn't like that Lily calls him Big Brother only when she needs something, and the girl thinks whether he will cure her or not. After which the young man says that for this reason the lady should only call him that when she really wants it. Even if she doesn't call him Big Brother on purpose, he will still do what she wants. The main character understands that magic is better than modern medicine, and she did not feel any pain at all. The girl understands that he is such a kind fool, and she forgives him for scaring her at their first meeting, after which she hugs the guy and thanks him. The guy smiles in response to this, and a little while later the girl returns to her sister. Juliana asks if they have finished the medical examination yet, and the girl happily answers that yes. Juliana also says that the mail has arrived for Lily, and an official document has arrived about the referral to take the magic test. Michael claims that Aiden got one too, and Alan claims that Luke got one too, but children grow up so fast. The main character asks if this is really a test for magic, after which she thinks if it really happened to these two too, and that means all children who have turned 8 years old must take this test. The girl also wonders what is good about it, to which her sister replies that this is all to determine whether she will go to the academy later or not. Lily asks if she does not have a predisposition to magic, then she will not be able to go to the academy. To which her sister replies that this is true, and the girl understands that this is not fair. But why can't she study if she simply doesn't have the ability for magic? Juliana claims that everything is fine because if Lily cannot enter the academy, she can go to a private school or study in a mansion. Lily understands that the academy can, in any case, only be dedicated to people who know how to use it. Alan claims that sometimes even people like Royston with uncontrollable magic are accepted. Perhaps this is because he is a monster in every way. When the main character looks at Michael's face, she wonders if he is jealous even because of a simple conversation about Cedric. At this time, Juliana turns to Lily and asks if she wants to go to the academy. The girl understands that when she read the novel, she had different fantasies, but she does not know whether she has magic or whether the marriage about entering the academy occurs 7 years after the story. At this time, Alan is wondering when the exact date of the test is because Luca immediately threw out the letter in the comments that he couldn't read it. Michael claims that in a month, and Alan asks what the exact date is. But his interlocutor wonders why he doesn't find out about it himself. Alan claims that his heart flutters when the guy says it with such a smile, so he asks him not to smile. Michael is silent for a while, after which everyone looks at him coldly. The main character understands that she cannot believe that he brought Michael to this, and this is Alan's hidden power. Juliana, who needs to be near her, is also worried, but at the same moment the girl turns to Lily, and she claims that a letter also came from her parents, and the woman is wondering if the girl will write them a response. The main character understands that she does not know how to react correctly to her parents' stories, and if she responds indifferently, her sister will feel depressed or suspect something. If she were reborn there wouldn't be such difficulties, but if Liliana from the original had dreamed of her and said that everything would be fine because this body was now hers, then life would certainly have become easier for her. The girl says that a little later when everyone leaves, they can read it, and her sister agrees. The girl understands that most of the texts in the Blanchett couple's letter concerned Juliana. There was only one question about her in which they were interested in her health, and the girl wonders whether Liliana was initially in a bad relationship with her parents. Perhaps because of frequent business trips, there was no feeling of affection. At this time, Juliana says that she thinks it would be better for her to answer this letter herself, and the main character wonders if she is lucky. A little while later, the lady's sister turns to Lily and asks not to leave the palace of the second prince, to which the main character replies that she should not worry. Juliana also claims that she will return soon, so she wishes the girl a good time. After which she heads off with Michael. The main character realizes that from behind they look good together. Cedric also looks good, but then the lady realizes that he hasn't come to them for a long time, and does he really have a lot of things to do? At the same moment, someone else turns to Lily and says that he is glad to meet her again, and she is just as beautiful today. The main character greets the guy and adds in her thoughts that he is still flirting today. At this time, the prince suggests going not to the palace today but somewhere else, because he would only be glad to be her escort, but the girl replies that her sister told her not to leave the palace. The young man replies that they will return before her sister, because he knows the time when the meeting of aristocrats will end. Lily understands that he wants to look like an adult, but he is still such a child, and if Carlisle had not been born in the imperial palace, he would probably have grown up as ordinary as Joshua and Luke. At this time, the young man asks where the lady would like to go first, and if it is not the main palace, then it does not matter. The girl answers that she wants to go to the best, refreshing, beautiful, and sunny place. To which the young man replies that this place is the imperial palace, but when he turns to his servants, they remain silent. The guy immediately becomes sad about the main character smiles and says that then Carlisle. He took her to his favorite place, to which the guy replies that then they will go to the garden near the building of the Second Knightly Order. There is a very beautiful fountain there. The main character thinks about the Second Knightly Order and understands that Cedric is there. The lady wonders if she will be able to meet him, and he will probably be wearing the uniform of the Order of Knights. But suddenly she felt that she missed him and had hot fantasies about knights. The girl immediately suggests going faster, and the guy claims that she has become more active than before, after which he offers to go in the carriage and extends his hand. The main character gives him her hand in return, and they enter the carriage. A little while later, they arrive at the place, and the lady realizes that she has such a feeling as if she is an aristocratic lady. The guy claims that if they walk just a little bit, he will soon see the garden. When the girl turns around, the young man asks if she is looking for something, to which the lady replies that yes, and she is looking for her sister's friend from the second knightly order of the imperial family. The guy then asks if she was looking for a person, and the girl immediately apologizes, but he replies that it is not necessary. He also suggests looking for it together before going into the garden, to which the lady thanks him, and also thinks what a kind young man the guy is. The prince asks what the guy's name is, and the lady replies that it's Cedric Royston. Carlyle then claims that he received disciplinary punishment for what he did in the imperial palace. And for now, he is suspended from service, which surprises the main character and wonders what the guy is talking about. And also, did Cedric really create trouble in the imperial palace? The girl wonders if they are talking about the one who usually sat quietly and knitted, and was also the most attentive person in the world. She also wonders if the whole image up until this point was a lie, and he was holding back his character in front of the Blanchett sisters, or if he has a dual personality. The prince at this time claims that he also does not understand because the commander of the second knightly detachment is not like that, and the main character understands that this does not look like the created character. A little while later, they are already inside the carriage, and the main character asks her sister if she knew about it, that Cedric got his punishment. The main character understands that she sees Michael is not at all surprised, and that means he knows everything. Perhaps it is because he often visits the palace, and then he probably knows the reason too. The girl turns to the uncle and asks if he knows why Cedric was punished. But when he smiles, the girl understands that this smile says that he knows everything. Michael claims that if a girl calls him Big Brother, then that's what he'll say. The main character thinks what an opportunist he is because Alan said he would do everything for her, even if she didn't call him that, and cured her caries for no reason. Juliana tells the guy not to tease the lady too much, to which he agrees, and claims that he is just joking. Answering Lily's question, he can say that it happened because of Rowan, and the main character thinks why this guy was there. Michael claims that he heard that Rowan briefly visited the Imperial Palace, and he thinks that this is what caused the problem. The main character, Alice, understands that in the end, this idiot doesn't know anything at all. When Rowan visited the Imperial Palace, he met Cedric there. Due to his cowardly nature, it is difficult to imagine that he would start arguing with Cedric. But he also attended the banquet on the occasion of the second prince's birthday and saw that Cedric was Juliana's partner. Having a feeling of inferiority, he could not pass by this. Juliana at this time says that she thinks Rowan made a mistake, and you need to visit Cedric. The main character understands that her sister came to a similar conclusion to her, but she thought for too long and now wants to eat sweets. However, if caries constantly appears on her teeth, then perhaps Alan will not hide it. It is worth waiting for this. Michael says that if you think about it, quite a lot of time has passed, and he wonders how about going somewhere to eat, because he knows a good restaurant nearby. The main character thinks if he wants to go with the three of them, and the track is obvious, but the guys answer that they also serve desserts there. The girl thinks how smart he is and suggests going. Michael claims that Lily seems to really want to, and asks if they will go, to which the lady's sister replies that it is fine. Juliana also asks the girl if she really likes desserts so much, if she likes them more than her sister. The girl immediately shakes her head and claims that she likes her little sister the most. Juliana immediately says that she also likes Lily more than anyone else in the whole world. The main character understands that at that moment her heart became so heavy as if the account was cut off, but there was no special reason for this. The lady simply thought that she had done something very nasty to her, and it will be enough for Juliana to be happy with the person who suits her best. But the girl still thinks whether what she is doing is right, and whether she can decide the meaning of happiness for her sister. Besides Rowan, it would be right to let the girl choose from the others herself, and moreover, she is not a real younger sister. A little while later, the girl eats reluctantly, and her sister asks if Lily is in pain. The girl immediately replies that no, and her sister claims that if something happens, she will tell her sister about it. Lily replies that nothing really happened. And then the woman asks why she doesn't eat dessert, to which the lady replies that it's because she's full, and Juliana claims that she did say that she has a separate stomach for desserts. Lily understands that she actually doesn't remember this, and her thoughts are now all mixed up, so she can't swallow a bite, but she can't say everything as it is. If she tells her sister that she is not really her real sister, and this world is inside the book that she read, then she chooses the main character of the book that will suit her better. Either she will be simply taken to the hospital and then kicked out of the house, or left to live until she becomes an adult. And when she becomes an adult, she will simply be driven away. Their relationship will be ruined in any case. The girl understands that living alone is also not bad, but now she really likes Juliana and she cannot leave her. The lady also understands that she had already thought that she had begun to sincerely like Juliana, not as a character in a book, but as her older sister. Lily claims that she likes her older sister and therefore wants her to be happy. Juliana then turns to Michael and apologizes but claims that they will step away for a short while and asks if he will wait. The main character understands that she would be fine even if the girl left her alone, but of course it would take a lot of time and there would be no ideal solution to the problem because sometimes depression would roll in. However, her sister does not want to leave her alone, and when the girl bends down in front of Lily, then he asks her to look at her little sister. The main character understands that this is the kind of person she is, and it is simply impossible not to love her. The girl is the one who said that she likes her more than anyone else, after which the main character apologizes to her sister and understands that she did not want to take her sister's place. The woman at this time wonders if something happened in the imperial palace. The girl replies that no, and her sister asks if it is because of all those letters she hid. When the main character is about to answer that no, at that very moment, she screams in shock and wonders who she learned this from. Juliana tells Lily not to worry, because she is not angry with her. She was interested in what the girl does every morning, and the main character realizes that she saw everything. Juliana asks if Lily doesn't want her to date someone, and the main character wonders if her older sister was not slow-witted, and she believed in it and also thought that she was acting smartly. However, if she knew why she did it, after all, there is a flying one above the running one. Juliana tells Lily that everything is fine, and she did say that she likes her sister more than anyone else. The main character apologizes to her sister once again, and she turns to Lily and also claims that compared to the time when the lady was a baby and could not speak, now they can have a sincere conversation. That's why she wants to do whatever Lily wants, and under no circumstances does she want to date someone she doesn't like. She thinks that Lily, unlike her, is good at understanding people and will help her meet a good man. The main character understands that, instead of scolding her, her sister asked her for help. And in order for gentle Juliana to be happy with another person besides her, she is ready to help as much as needed. The girl also says that in return her sister should tell her if she finds a man she likes to, which she agrees. The girl understands that a similar day will come when she will repent, worry, and be afraid. But she still can't leave her little sister, so under the pretext of happiness for her, she will hide her worthless feeling of remorse. A little while later, they return to the restaurant, and the main character realizes that her dessert is still there. The girl also understands that he looks better than before, and Michael claims that he asked to change all the desserts to new ones. Lily realizes that sometimes he goes beyond her imagination. The lady's sister asks if the girl will eat now, and the main character nods and also understands that today is the day when Juliana allowed her desserts, so there is no need to think anymore, and she will focus only on this. The eclair that the lady ate was sweeter than ever, and it was so sweet that it became bitter. A few days later, Cedric visited their mansion as if nothing had happened. The main character, looking at the guy, wonders if he has really become even bigger. And while he was suspended, all he did was train. At this time, Juliana says that Cedric has gotten even stronger. In response to which the guy is embarrassed, the main character thinks what he is doing because while he was gone, Alan and Michael scored points. At this time, Juliana claims that she heard that the guy was suspended and is wondering if it is all because of Rowan. She also asks what happened, and the guy replies that nothing like that happened. Daniel at this time turns to Lily and claims that he wants to eat chocolate cake, but the girl replies that today is peach tarts. She also thinks that the guy should just wait a little because she is interested in the reason for his removal. Michael at this time says that he does not think Royston will tell her just because the lady asked. The girl also sees Aiden, who is barely keeping up with his uncle's steps. The main character understands that he tried hard, and Juliana asks if it is because of that one, that she chose him as her partner instead of Rowan. The girl also says that it turns out she is right because there is no reaction from him. Alan also approaches the guys and asks why they don't go inside and talk. The main character understands that even today these three children of the big shots are also there, and Juliana turns to Cedric and says that it would be better for him not to hide the reason. Michael suggests going into the living room, and the main character understands that she is going to take the best place. A little while later, the guy claims that he knows what Cleone really is. Michael adds that he has a huge sense of inferiority, and Alan claims that he is stupid and has a mind of his own, and also acts like a victim, and even misunderstood everything that day. Juliana claims that you should not talk behind a person's back. The main character understands that her sister does not deny what was said, and she did not expect such words about Rowan Pushka. Also thinks that the main characters do not have compensation in another, or it can't be covered up with other characteristics, and Cedric says that in any case, like Leah said, this guy came up to him and started picking on him. He was going to ignore him, but he started talking about Leah. The girl asks what he said, and the guy replies that he can't say that. The main character understands that it is unlikely that there was anything good there, and if this is what he cannot tell Juliana, it could be a low-grade noise or rumor. Cedric claims he responded rudely and told him to get lost. But the guy didn't stop at what he said, and Alan happily asks if he hit him. The guy replies that everything is correct, and Alan asks again if he put him into eternal sleep, to which Cedric replies that he just scared him a little. The blue-haired guy claims that he thinks it didn't seem that way to Rowan, and asks how Cedric intimidated him. The guy replies that he simply pulled his sword out of its sheath and said a few words. The guy asks if he was aiming for the neck, and Cedric replies that he didn't harm the man. The main character understands that sometimes Cedric can be very passionate. Juliana says that no matter how angry he is, but you shouldn't have done that because Cedric is the head of the Knights, and a 3-week suspension is not a minor punishment. The guy then apologizes to Juliana, but claims that he does not regret it, and even if he returned at that moment, he would have done exactly the same thing. Alan, with a smile on his face, says that he would get punished again. The main character is watching the guys. He understands that they look like friends again, but at the academy, they were always together. The main character then turns to Aiden and asks if he knows how to use magic. The young man replies that he only knows the theoretical part, but has not used magic. Lily asks if this is true because she thought that he had done this at least once before, to which the guy replies that it was not as good as he thought, and the girl wonders if even a genius like Aiden can't easily use magic. The guy claims that the lady is probably worried about the magic test, and she replies that she is just curious. Josh, Luca, and him. I wonder if they will all go to the academy together because she would like it to happen. Aiden looks at the elders at this time, and then with a smile on his face replies that he would like this too. The main character also wonders if Carlisle is going to enter the academy. A little while later, the day of the magic test comes, and Juliana asks Lily not to be so nervous. The main character understands that Juliana's magic absorbs light, and it would be very good if she could study it too. Efficiency that should not even be compared with modern technology is called magic. It was her fantasy while the lady was reading the novel, but it doesn't matter because even if she can't use it, the usual one will be fine too. Of course, it's good to have distinctive abilities, but it's harmful to the body. And only if you know how to use magic in Meru, you can fully enjoy it. Well then, the lady understands that she should not hope for anything. At this time, Michael enters the room with Aiden, and the main character immediately turns to the boy, and also asks if he is worried too, which the guy replies that he hadn't really thought about it before because he wants to go to the academy with her. The main character says that he will succeed, and understands that no matter how you look at it, the guy is a cutie. However, the girl wonders if she can tell anyone that everything will work out and that she is the only one there who needs to try. Luca also runs up to Lily, and the girl thinks why he is alone without his brother. When the guy runs up to them, Juliana asks him where Alan went, after which the young man turns around, but when they don't see his brother, he claims that he has lost his older brother. Everyone else is also shocked, but the young man then claims that everything is fine. After all, the older brother can find him with the help of magic, so he will come himself. The main character understands that if so, then she is glad. And also, since there are a lot of children aged 8 to 9, the magic test is carried out over several days. Also, children are divided by place of residence and status. So today there are relatively few people. The main character also thinks that if she is the only one who cannot pass, and what is hidden under the word test, it would be better if they wrapped it in a beautiful package called a qualification test for magical abilities. At this time, Juliana says that soon it will be their turn, and everything will end quickly, so let the girl not worry, to which she agrees. The main character understands that she should not be nervous, and does not need to wind herself up. A short time later, she is already in front of the examiners, and one of them turns to Liliana Blanchett, and also wonders if she can hear them. The girl wonders if this is the place where they are checked, but there are no devices there. One of the examiners at this time bends down to the little girl and asks if she can look at it. The main character realizes that she was so surprised that she got distracted. The man says that the baby doesn't need to be afraid because it will only take a little time, and all she needs to do is follow the directions. The girl thinks that if only she could follow the directions. Lily also thinks whether the man will tell her to show her the magic that she can use, because if so, she will answer that she cannot use magic, and the examiner will say that then she does not pass. Well, now the guy tells the girl to take deep breaths. The main character understands that this is similar to a medical examination. If he tells her to hold her breath, it will feel like they are taking an X-ray. The man then asks the lady to hold her breath for a second, and she realizes that she knew it all along, after which the examiner begins to use magic. Then he rises and states that he has finished the examination. Another one at this time claims that now the lady also needs to just stand still and let her not be afraid because he will release his magic around her. The main character understands that this is the same thing that Alan does every time. The examiners say that this is strange, and another agreement because it is not about his test, but the main game does not think about what they are talking about because she is not calm. The third examiner at this time turns to the lady and asks if she can direct the force to the tips of her fingers as if collecting energy. Lily realizes that she cannot do this. And at the same moment, the examiners say that this is really strange and that this is the first time they have eaten something like this. Someone else is wondering if there is a norm for this situation, but another one claims that this is the first time. So where would such a norm come from? The lady wonders if she can go home already and turns to the examiners, after which one of the men turns to the lady. And he apologizes but claims that he needs to take a couple more tests. After a little while, the girl finally leaves the office and thinks whether she passed because it all looked like she didn't succeed. A little while later, the girl sits in apathy and Joshua turns to her and asks if Lily wants to eat his dessert too. Aiden also turns to Lily and tells her to eat his dessert too because he's not hungry. Luca also turns to the lady and hesitantly holds out his dessert. The main character immediately screams, "Why are they all behaving like this? And do they really think that she won't be able to enter the academy?" The girl also turns to the adults, and she wonders if they really told them to do this, after which she keeps screaming at him so that they don't ignore her. Juliana apologizes to the girl and claims that her sister was worried in front of the lady and was not herself all day because of this. Her uncles and friends are very worried about her, and the main character understands that she will be lenient only because of her little sister. Michael claims that Lily's results are indeed late, as Aiden got his results yesterday morning, and Cedric adds that Joshua did too. But Juliana says that nevertheless a day has already passed and the main character thinks that everything is fine. And she decided not to think about anything else, and compared to the academy, she thinks that living like this with her sister would be nice. At this time, Alan wonders if all the other children have passed. Michael replies that it is possible, and the lady's sister states that it would be a good idea for them to go to Delir together. But at that very moment, she stops talking, and the main character sighs and realizes that her sister doesn't need to worry about her. When Alan wants to say something else, the butler suddenly bursts into the room and makes a statement that the notice has finally arrived. He slowly hands it to the lady, who turns to Lily, and also wonders if the girl wants to open it, to which the main character replies yes. The girl takes the papers in her hands and reads her name. The lady sees a lot of written paper there. And she thinks couldn't she write it meekly, but at the same moment she sees her characteristics, and the amount of mana she has is very large. The lady's mana is mixed with a large amount of foreign mana of unknown origin, so a check is required, but the use of magic is very low. And due to the huge amount of magic and the required detailed testing as well as the ability to use it, practically, the decision was postponed, which shocked the girl. At this time, Alan says that apparently his mana mixed with Lily's mana, but Sister Lady responds that she doesn't think that this is so, and the main character wonders if it's really because of that she was reborn in Lily's body. And if Yulana notices this, it will be very bad because she is still not ready to tell about it. Aiden turns to Lily and asks if she is okay, to which the girl replies that yes, and everything is fine. The guy claims that Lily has high scores compared to other children, so she just needs to practice, and Luca claims that he can help. The girl understands that she is grateful for this, but instead of postponing the decision, she might be better off telling. Her sister is quick-witted and smart, and with just a few clues, she immediately makes the right conclusion. The woman at this time asks if Lily has changed during the time she was very ill. The main character understands that it is difficult, of course, to come to the conclusion about the transmigration of the soul. Well, if her sister can find out, she doesn't even know what will happen. Alan at this time claims that if other wizards came, besides him, then there is no way this could have happened. The woman says that in any case, they will find out the details only after a thorough check. She also turns to Lily and asks, "What is it?" And the main character turns to her sister in response. She understands that she is afraid that her older sister will find out the whole truth, and if this happens, she will no longer be able to see such a look. At this time, Juliana asks if she is really so sad because her little sister was just making a scary face. After which, she apologizes to Lily. A few days later, a detailed test was conducted inside the Imperial Palace. When the main character leaves the room, her sister claims that the girl tried hard, and Lily understands that there are so many strong wizards there and she feels sick from so much mana. At the same moment, someone else runs up to Lily and claims that he is glad to see her after so much time. The girl understands that since this is the Imperial Palace, she did not expect to see a guy there. Juliana at this time greets the Crown Prince and states that her name is Juliana Blanchett. Lily realizes that if you think about it, this is the first time her sister has met Carlisle like this. And it's difficult to greet the royal family like that, so why not just say, "Hello"? The guy at this time claims that he has heard a lot about the lady from Lily, and he is glad that they can properly get acquainted. The woman suggests that the prince speak as he will be more comfortable, but the guy replies that he, on the contrary, wants to speak politely because he is Lily's friend. The main character understands that if it weren't for someone like her, then who else in this empire would treat the prince like that? She also wonders how the young man knew she was there, and the guy replies that he heard the conversation. Lily asks what kind, and the guy replies that they are talking about the second child of the Blanchett family receiving unprecedented results from a magic test. The main character is shocked and asks if he heard that too. A little while later, the guy points to one of the places he can enter, and it is not far from Cantio. The girl understands that she will like it anywhere, and when they enter one of the rooms, the lady realizes that this is the Imperial Library, as she thought the Blanchet family's training place was no match for the Imperial Palace. But talking about the library, she starts thinking about Aiden. He would like it if a guy came there, and the girl wonders if he was there because he is related to the royal family. But at that very moment, someone turns to Lily and the main character realizes that he is there. After which she understands that Michael is there, but she still couldn't know for sure. At this time, the young man greets Lily, and the main character greets him in response, after which the brunette looks at the prince. He also says that Lily often sees the prince, and Carlisle claims that Liliana is his friend. The main character tells the guys that there is a library there, after which they understand. Aiden whispers and addresses Lily and asks why she is there. Carlisle at this time whispers, offers to go from there. On the other hand, the guy asks if the prince just said to leave there, but if so, then let her not worry and just stay there. The prince continues to whisper that it doesn't matter what Aiden Evans says, and they can go because he hasn't seen her for a long time. Lily immediately covers her ears and thinks, when will these crazy people stop, and also claims that she said it last time. so that they get along with each other and people understand that they are also a family. And of course, it is strange for the imperial family to be close, but they are not fighting for power. The girl also asks Aiden if he came there to read books, to which the guy replies that yes. And the girl turns to Carlisle and asks why he came there, to which the guy answers the same thing. Then the lady suggests that they read books together. The prince hesitates a bit, but Aiden immediately agrees. After which the guy with blonde hair also agrees, and the main burning thinks that this is great. After all, a plus in the piggy bank that her relationship in the future will be smooth. The girl thinks that maybe this is why Juliana agreed to have these children nearby. At this time, Aiden is carrying a stack of books, and the main character understands that it is unknown when he will read it all, so where is he dragging so many? At this time, the prince also drags a lot of books, and the girl understands that they are up to their old tricks again. The prince at this time looks at the book in Aiden's hands and wonders if he is reading the imperial theory. The guy replies that there is no god who could cause harm for gaining knowledge. The prince wonders if this is really true, and the brunette claims that there is no reason why this is not knowledge. And this book is also placed in the library. Lily understands that this is not a mistaken opinion, but if she were Carlisle, she would immediately grab him by the throat. The lady understands that this is clearly a provocation, after which she tells Aiden that they need to get along, but the guy replies that they already get along. The girl understands that she only has to look at this guy because he is no better than Michael, and usually he behaves like Cedric, but people think why he behaves like this in front of Carlisle. The girl also says that if he continues to do this, she will read books alone with Carlisle. Aiden at the same moment states that from now on he will be silent. Hay, upset, turns back to the book. The main character realizes that she wants to tease him more, but she needs to calm him down. The lady whispers that when they return, she will play only with him, and only the two of them. The guy smiles in response and agrees, and the main character realizes that she doesn't know what she did. Well, everyone likes her, and later when he stops liking her, he will need to ask why he liked her, because now if she tries to ask, she will be very embarrassed. Lily understands that of course she will say nonsense, but what if they fall in love with her when she grows up? But when this happens, then she will think. A little while later, the main character realizes that she didn't think they would read the book's actions. Aiden at this time wonders if the lady was nearby. The girl replies that yes, and her sister is busy now, so she needs to wait for her arrival, and the guy asks if she will come with his uncle, to which she replies that she thinks yes, and when the prince looks at her sadly, the lady thinks, does he really not like to hear this? But if you think about it, I wonder why Carlisle got the nickname Cold. She is curious, but if she asks, it will be impolite, and therefore it will be better not to pester him with questions until he himself wants to tell. Aiden at this time turns to Lily and asks what happened, to which the lady replies that nothing. The guy tells her that if something is bothering her, then the lady should not be shy about telling him. Another guy suggests that he also definitely tell her, and the main character claims that she will write to him often. But the guy tells her to come and play more often because he can't come to her. The main character looking at him understands that it seems these guys know her preferences better than she does, for they would not look so sweet in her eyes. The prince at this time says that when the lady is near, it seems to him that he can finally breathe freely. The girl guards so much when they first met. He was like a dangerously taut string, and for Carlisle's sake, she should come more often. In any case, she could go to the palace with Juliana, but then she notices that Aiden smiles so scary that she can't immediately say that she understands, and even if the guy is pretending to be a friend, it's still not true. However, the lady thinks that it is good to sit and spend free time with children on such a fine day. The lady is still very young, so she can feel free from everything, but when she enters the academy, she will be exhausted after the exam. The girl also turns to Carlisle and asks whether he and the members of the direct line of the imperial family receive education in the imperial palace and not in the academy. The young man with blonde hair answers that no, and he can go to Delir if he wants. Well, the girl thinks whether he wants it himself. The main character says that she still has friends, and if he goes to the academy and makes friends with them, then she thinks it will be good, to which the guy agrees. And the girl says that since it will be like this, then Aiden should also serve. At this time, the brunette asks what Lily is saying, but the girl notices her sister. She immediately runs up to her, but then realizes that her little sister is in too much of a hurry. At this moment, the woman steps on her dress and begins to fall, but at that very moment, someone grabs her. It turns out to be Michael, and the guys are watching them as if paralyzed. The main character is shocked to realize that her sister will never be with this fox. It was possible to just grab her by the arm, but I and he needed to hug her around the waist where all the children can see. The girl understands that, as a Confucian, she cannot tolerate this, and how can they make out in a public place? At this time, Juliana thanks Michael for catching her, and the main character thinks what a hypocritical scoundrel he is. And the opportunist, and how dare he do it right in front of her. Michael at this time claims that he did say not to run. The girl still looks angrily at her uncle, after which he turns his attention to her. And he claims that if she looks at him like that, she will pierce his face. Lily understands that even if he smiles like that. Then she knows all his dark thoughts. The blonde at this time leans towards Lily, and he claims that she really likes her older sister, but the girl just turns away and realizes that he already knew this. The guy at this time claims that he is not trying to take her little sister, so there is no need to hate him. The main character slowly gives him her hand and understands that if she ignores this, then Juliana will be in a difficult situation, and therefore let him not think that he will get off the hook so easily. The girl understands that she will be watching everything. At this time, Aiden also goes to his uncle, and the main character at this time pays attention to Carlisle and realizes that he looks sad, so the guy must have wanted to be alone with her, but there were 3 of them all the time. The girl turns to her sister and asks if they are leaving, to which the woman replies that they are, and asks if Lily is hungry, because if so, then they can go to dinner, to which the lady agrees. But he says that before that he will say goodbye to the second prince because it would be impolite to part like that. Juliana watches contentedly as her little sister goes to say goodbye, and the main character understands that leaving the 3 of them like this makes her a little nervous. The girl also calls Aiden to her, and when the guy approaches, she whispers to him, "What if Uncle Michael and her little sister get married? Then they won't be able to get married." But the girl understands that this is just a lie, but the guy nods, and the lady understands that he is serious. So, okay, nothing can be done. The girl approaches the prince, and he asks what happened. The main character strokes the guy's head and thanks him for coming today. The lady claims that next time she will come alone and he will show her the palace. The main character understands that she doesn't know if she has time and opportunity, but she thought that Carlisle would be hurt if she didn't say anything. The guy smiles at the same moment and tells Lily that he will wait, to which the lady replies that she will definitely come to press. The girl quickly removes her hand and understands that she shouldn't raise a topic that is not intended for children. If this is a prince, then words like "I like you" and "marry me" will definitely appear without a hitch. But at least now this definitely won't happen, and the guy is just saying goodbye to Lily. A few days later, Juliana said, "Isn't it sad to stay at home in good weather?" So they all went for a walk together. Cedric turns to the boys and tells them not to go far. The main character understands that Luca already has a good command of magic, but she still can't, so she envies him. Michael at this time claims that Aiden has been strange lately. The main character understands. As for how he said it, she didn't notice anything strange, and her sister at this time was wondering if he was talking about Aiden. The guy replies that nothing has changed, but he looks strange for some reason. Alan at this time claims that children grow up quickly. Juliana asks if it is because they have been away from their parents for too long, and the guys answer that he is sure that it is not so, because Aiden is not the one who would worry about something like that. The main character understands that this is definitely true, because the guy only looks at her, and what does it have to do with parents? And besides, he looks like he's asking for praise. Well, the girl thinks about what to praise him for, and at the same moment, someone asks the lady if something is really wrong. A little while later, they are already getting out of the boats, and Juliana asks if everyone had fun. Luca claims that he wanted to ride a little more, and the main character understands that Cedric also wants to be near Juliana, but at such moments she always takes a step back and looks after them. That's why the main character turns to her older brother, and she says that he doesn't want to from behind and also offers to hold hands. The girl understands that by walking like this, he can also keep an eye on them. At this time, Luca says that he also wants this, and Joshua also takes his hand. Juliana turns around and smiles at this picture, and so do Alan and Michael. Well, the guy is surrounded by children. Alan at this time says that Luca is probably heavy, but Cedric replies that not at all, and he likes it. The main character thinks, how can one be so kind? so she'll give him 1 point. Hey girl thinks, is it really sickening for Michael to be as kind as Cedric? At this time, the guy turns to Lily and asks if she wants to go with him to the dessert shop, to which the lady agrees. But when she looks at how Alan shakes his head, she thinks what's wrong. At the same moment, the other children say that they want it too. The brunette hesitates a little at this time, after which the main character thinks why he is looking at his uncle and taking the guy by the hand, invites him to go together. The young man replies that it is fine, and the main character understands that this is the reason why Michael considered Aiden strange. The guy wanted to hear praise from her, and the girl wonders if he was still bothering Michael. The main character realizes that Aiden listens to her surprisingly well, and a little while later, Mikhail and the children claim that they will be back soon. Juliana tells him not to buy them too many sweets, to which the guy agrees. Then he turns to the children and winks at them. The main character thinks what a fool he is, and if he wants to give a signal, it must be secret. After all, Juliana is still looking, but for his efforts to look good in front of her, she gives 5 points. The girl wonders if she should really keep track of her points, since Alan got 50 points for removing her carries last time, and besides, he has been acting strangely calm lately. Perhaps Alan's character, as described in the original, was just a ploy so that he could get Rowan away from her older sister. At this time, the guy turns to his brother and tells him to make him suffer to the fullest, to which he agrees, and the girl understands that it doesn't matter because Alan Lowell remains himself. A little while later, the main character looks at the many desserts and realizes that this is a real paradise because all these delicious desserts look incredibly expensive. One of the workers at this time turns to Michael and asks if Aiden has come too. This woman is the Marquise of Cladis, and the main character realizes that as she thought this store was opened by a noblewoman, seeing her for the first time, she wants to say whether she can love her, and the girl immediately introduces herself, claiming that her name is Liliana Blanchet. The woman at this time says that the lady must be their regular secret client. The main character answers in her thoughts that this is true because she wants to openly visit her as long as Juliana allows it. Well, if she changes her mind, then somewhere in 8 years, if this place does not disappear. The woman at this time says that this is good and asks whether it is necessary to praise Michael a little because nothing is too much for such a sweet niece. The woman turns to Lady Liliana and says that since she personally visited the store today, let her choose whatever she wants to eat because it will be free. The main character, in shock, asks if this is true, and the woman answers that, of course, and the lady asks if she can choose just one of each. But something answers that it's okay, even if she takes everything there. The main character immediately smiles and understands that she will give an additional 30 points to Michael. A little while later, the lady notices that Aiden is following her around and tells the guy to choose what he likes, but the young man claims that he likes the same things that she does. Lily understands that this is not true, and the guy once again turns to the girl and claims that she told him something. That next time he would only play with him, so he would like it to be now. The main character at this time asks if everyone won't worry if they suddenly disappear, to which the young man replies that he understands, and the lady wonders how they will do it then. After which the guy turns to his uncle and smiles contentedly. The main character is shocked and thinks what kind of outrageous idea came to his mind. At this time, Michael turns to Lily and asks her if she has chosen everything, to which the girl nods. The main character also understands that Aiden hasn't said anything yet, but she doesn't understand why she's so nervous. And besides, Luca and Joshua are running around the store so excitedly, and the girl is wondering if she shouldn't calm them down first. The lady immediately screams at them not to run because if they don't stop right now, then she won't share desserts even if they come to her house, after which the guys listen to her. And the woman, with a smile on her face, says that it is so sweet, after which the girl thinks that it is a masterpiece, madam, because they almost fell to the floor. The owner of the store says that the lady looks so much like her sister, and the main character wonders if she really knows her too, which the woman replies that of course, when the lady studied at the academy, she often came there with Michael. She loved desserts very much, and the woman had not seen her plump face for a long time. Lily is shocked and wonders if her sister really likes desserts. But since she moved into this body, she hasn't seen anyone eat many desserts. The girl also remembers how Michael handed her sister a muffin, and she wonders if it was because of her that her little sister couldn't eat her favorite dessert. The girl immediately turns to Michael, and the blonde leans towards her and asks, "What is it?" And did Lily really not choose everything, and the girl understands that everything is wrong because she chose her weekly limit at once? But she still wonders what kind of dessert her older sister likes, and also understands that she will keep what she chose because she wants to choose a dessert for her sister. Michael says that Lily really likes her older sister, and the main characters do not answer that this is so. The girl realizes that she really likes Juliana. She never loved people so much until she moved to the novel. At this time, Michael claims that the uncle will choose what the sisters like, and they wonder if that will work. The main character wonders if he means that she can keep everything she has chosen, after which the girl completely understands what a terrible guy he is because he found out what she was thinking about. At this time, Aiden turns to his uncle and asks if they can go to the flower shop before returning. After all, he would like to look at the flowers, and the blonde asks if he is talking about the flower shop. The guy claims that he saw wilted roses in Blanchett's mansion, and the main character understands that their gardener left for his homeland for a short time, so they withered. The brunette at this time says that he is sure that if they give a new flower, he will make them happy. Well, and the main character at this time thinks how the guy knows when the roses in her house have withered and when they bloom and smell if she herself does not know about it. The girl also thinks why he chose a flower shop, and shouldn't the guy have said something like, he won't bother his uncle anymore, so let him give them time to play together. A little while later, one of the guys asks where they are going, and the other one says to the flower shop. Joshua asks why, and Luca says that Lily's flowers have dried up at home, but then the guy asks why they are going to buy them themselves, to which Luca replies that he doesn't know but will buy them first. Joshua immediately claims that he will too, after which the two are going to run away. But at that very moment, someone grabs and offers to hold hands for a while. It turns out to be Michael. The main character looks at him in surprise. Aiden says that she is ready, after which the main character thinks, is this really the same plan that popped into his little head? The brunette turns to Lily at this time, and he suggests going to look at the flowers together. A little while later, he points to one of the flowers and tells the girl to look at it because it is very beautiful. Lily replies that it is really beautiful and looks at the guy and realizes that he is like a flower among other flowers. The girl also asks what kind of red flower it is, and the guy replies that it is a begonia. The lady then points to another one, and the young man replies that it is phlox. It is too early for flowering, but it seems that they were sown long ago. The guy also talks about other flowers, and when he points to one of them, then the girl says that she knows because this flower is called eustoma. The lady understands that she has long read about it on the internet, and if you make a bouquet out of it, it will be beautiful. Aiden at this time, he claims that this is true, and the main character immediately imagines how the guy will open his own flower shop. The young man asks what she is thinking about, and the girl replies that she thought the role of a salesperson in a flower shop would suit him well. After which, the guy says that if it's with her, then it's good, and the main character understands that she almost got caught. It was like an indirect admission, well, as she already said she is, but the older sister, and she also says that she thinks that Luca and Joshua will come every day to create problems for them. The girl also thinks that now she cannot give the answer that he wants to hear. Well, then the guy comes up with some idea, and he asks if Lily wants some kind of flower. The girl asks if he will buy it for her, and the guy replies that if she asks the uncle, he will definitely buy it. The ladies answer that everything is fine, but as she thought, at that moment Joshua enters the room and addresses Lily. He hands some flower to the lady and claims that it looks like her. The main character understands that he brought these flowers because they are the same color as her hair. And it's very cute, after which the main character asks Aiden what kind of flowers these are. The guy answers that these are Hoya. The lady then says that it is clear and thanks Joshua, in response to which the guy only nods. The main character, looking at his facial expression, understands that as she thought she likes this guy, but at that age, she will definitely like the person with whom she was closest. Lily also asks if he paid for them too, which the guy exclaims that of course he did. The main character immediately puts one of the flowers in his hair and claims that it makes him look cute. Until they are home, let the flower remain, as is otherwise she might cry because she will be upset. The lady also gives a flower to Aiden and says that he should wear it too, but not walk around with it until it wilts. The girl understands that this is great, and she wants to do the same with Michael and Luca. And also with Alan, Cedric, and Juliana, they will all be like a big family. The girl turns to the guys and suggests that they have fun next year as well. The blonde guy asks if she's not going to play anymore this year. At this time, the main character says that Joshua is such a fool, and Michael, together with Luca, leaves the flower shop. Michael asks Lily if she can follow him without holding his hand, to which the lady replies, "Yes." And then the guy suggests going quickly because Leah is probably tired of waiting. The main character at this time thinks about what love is. If this feeling can make a person like this? In the novel, because of Michael's character, it was impossible to imagine such a smile, so it turns out that love means that he is ready to completely change himself. As Aiden said, Juliana really liked the flowers that Mikville brought. Lily realizes that she felt like she was drowning in a huge amount of these flowers, because all the flowers that Michael gave her were placed in her room. Juliana is, of course, more often in her bedroom than in her own, but she still feels a little sorry for Michael. A little while later, Juliana asks the girl if she can't sleep. The main character understands that at 10 o'clock it is still too early for an adult to sleep, but now she is only 8. The woman says that if she goes to bed late, she will not grow up, and the girl replies that everything is fine. The woman at this time claims that the lady's birthday is coming soon, and asks if she wants anything as a gift, to which the girl replies that she doesn't want anything. Juliana asks if she doesn't even want something sweet, after which he even says that maybe she should have a cake for the girl's birthday, and the main character asks if this is true. Well, the woman says that even if it is not tasty, she should eat it, to which the main character replies that she definitely should. The girl understands that today she has one important question for Juliana, because the time for the intermediate check has passed. The girl turns to her sister and asks if she still doesn't like anyone. The girl replies that she loves Lily more than anyone in the world, and the main character understands that it would be good if they lived like this for a very long time. But now Lily is wondering what her little sister thinks about her brothers, and Juliana is wondering if she really calls them all brothers now. The main character gets a little angry about this and understands that this is not important now. Juliana says that they are good friends, and she doesn't want to distance herself from them. After all, Lily also doesn't want to lose such friends, to which the main character nods and thinks that maybe Juliana is simply suppressing her feelings. There is no chance that people who understand her feelings well will not be sensitive to this part. After which the main character asks, what if the inevitable moment comes? Juliana says that her Lily speaks like an adult, and the main character understands that she said too much. The woman claims that they are not the only men in the world, so she wants to remain friends with everyone if possible. The main character realizes that she thinks the candidates for the main male role are shocked. The woman claims that if, as Lily said, the inevitable moment comes. At this time, the main character is from there in shock, thinking about who she will choose. Well, the woman says that if she is sure, she will definitely tell Lily. The main, burning in shock, thinks what to do if she interferes with the person that her sister likes, and let her not smile so beautifully because her soul is uneasy. The girl also understands that she is doing this because she wants the person that Juliana likes to become closer, and if she really likes someone, then she should stop her actions. Lily also says that then she doesn't need her help, and the woman claims that her sister doesn't want to date anyone until she enters the academy. The main character understands that this is a lie, and if she had not driven away Marquis Cleone, she would have already suffered all sorts of things from him. The girl also understands that if she thinks about it, her sister has already avoided the worst end, and the girl claims that she does not need to worry about her. The woman says that no way, and she is going to continue to take care of Lily and also does not want to date someone she does not like. Lily asks really even if his sister likes him, and the girl answers that this is true. Lily claims that she doesn't want the lady to do this because of her, because she wants her to be happy. The main character thinks that she doesn't want to be a pain in the ass for her sister and doesn't want to interfere if she likes someone. The woman at this time asks what if she is already happy because she has Lily. She also asks the lady not to worry because her sister will also look very carefully when Lily saw the groom. The girl asks what if she brings a bride, and the woman says that then she too will look closely to see if she can make her Lily happy. The heroine understands that she was worried whether she could simply accept this undeserved love. The girl also thinks that if she didn't know her sister, everything would be fine. She also wonders if her sister likes her very much, and she replies that of course because she loves Lily more than anyone else in the world. That night, the girl had her first nightmare, and it was a terrible nightmare in which Juliana throws her with a face full of horror. When the meeting of aristocrats took place again, the main character together with Carlisle walked around the imperial palace as he promised. The main character starts thinking about something of her own, but the guy at that very moment turns to Lily, and she claims that she looks bad. The main characters claim that she thinks it's because she couldn't sleep. The guy says that if she wants, he can send aromatic candles to their mansion that will help her fall asleep. Lily knows it sounds tempting, but she gets desserts from the imperial pastry chef. So if she gives up more, Juliana might feel the burden too. The girl understands that these conversations remind her of the nightmare last night, and she goes crazy, while the prince asks if the girl is okay. At the same moment, the main character strokes the guy on the head and claims that everything is fine. Well, the young man, looking at her exhausted appearance, says that this is not so and asks if the lady really has a toothache. Because she ate a lot of desserts, and the girl screams who told him that. The main character understands that only 3 kids and Alan knew about it. The guy at this time says that he only assumed it, but it turned out that it was true. The main character thinks that this little guy is smart and sweet, and also tells him not to stop sending desserts, to which the young man replies that he understands. Carlisle claims that he knows what Lily is worried about, and last time he just heard rumors. He also did not collect information about her intentionally, to which the lady replies that it is good, and she will believe, after which she thinks that the guy scared her because she thought that he would start talking to her about the nightmare again. The boy claims that he is telling the truth and that he usually only collects information about people who are a threat to him. Lily wonders why he is telling her this, and the guy replies that it's because he trusts her. Lily wonders, since when did such trust arise between them? As far as she remembers, they only played and ate together, but if she recalls, everything was strange from the very first meeting. After which the girl thinks that it doesn't matter at all and turns to the prince, and he wonders why he likes her. The young man wonders at this time if she doesn't know, and the lady thinks how she would know. It won't happen, but if she told anyone about Carlisle's words, his life would be in danger at that very moment. One of her nobles would claim that he can't believe that the prince is collecting information, and isn't it envy for the throne that he won't get? The guy at this time claims that he is talking to her about such a free veto and does not think that she will tell anyone. He also claims that the lady is not interested in this at all, and being lazy is even better. Lily realizes that as she thought he does not look like a child. At this time, the guy says that in answer to her question, and the main character immediately replies that if she doesn't answer, she thinks that she doesn't need to hear this. Lily thinks that she understands others no worse than him, but he will tell not only the reason, but also his plans for the future, and she does not want to be part of someone else's life plan at 8 years old. At least until her little sister shows interest in someone other than her, otherwise she'll faint. At this time, the prince claims that he is not going to propose to her, and the main character understands that she knows, but she has to specifically say it. She also thinks that showing her displeasure with all her appearance and telling the truth would be too much, after which she claims that she didn't say that she didn't like it, but that doesn't mean the opposite because she's not ready for it yet, and more precisely, she doesn't want it. The guy claims that he understands, so he won't do it, and he's already been rejected once. Lily wonders if she too made an offer without knowing, and the young man replies that no, these were just passing suggestions, and he really doesn't want to burden her now, and later when the lady becomes an adult, he will take a good position, and then he will make an official proposal. The main character without a hitch, and thinks that it is clear and also ponders whether it is worth telling him so that the guy will cheer up. The girl also thinks that if next year her loved one changes and there are 9 years left before she grows up, she should be more careful with her words. The guy at this time says that one way or another the reason why she became interesting to him was that he was struck by the magic that he felt from her on the day of the banquet. The main character thinks whether it was really when Alan and his sister could not feel it. The young man claims that he feels and understands the mafia of other people, although physical contact is necessary for this. Usually he hides it, and it would be bad if someone found out. But for certain reasons, sometimes he uses his power. He claims that at that moment he thought it was an assassin who had come for his life. And of course, if the lady were a real assassin, she would have fallen into a peppery sleep as soon as she noticed this. But then the young man tells Lily not to be afraid to, which the girl nods and understands that she is not very afraid, and she is also not the kind of person who should accept consolation. The guy at this time says that seeing her with magic that he had never encountered before, he thought that the lady was a fairy, so he wanted to see her again, and after they met again, he sincerely wanted to get closer, and she, having met him, is not afraid and does not avoid. The main character cannot believe that a child who is only 10 years old already thinks like that, and as a result he was attracted by the fact that she is different from other people he had ever met. So you can become an ice cube. The main character slaps the guy on the head and understands that she is even happy for such a reason, and also says that in the future he will have many more good friends besides her. But the young man says that he likes her. Their main character replies that it shows him to be quiet. Lily understands that even if he speaks not thoughtlessly, then won't he fall into an eternal sleep from awkwardness when he sees her after several years. At this time, Carlyle tells Lily not to hurt his feelings, to which the girl replies that she does not hurt, but the guy says that she already did it. The girl says that this is why she does not like smart children. The prince says that in any case he accidentally heard the results of her magic test. The girl understands that he did it on purpose. Carlyle claims that he thinks he can help her with this. The protagonist immediately asks how, and the guy claims that if you look at her condition now, the decoys may leave the body. It's like it's blocked and normal people can naturally use mana by adapting to it. The magicians describe this as the path opening up. The main character wonders if this means she hasn't opened the path yet. The guy says that it is true, and the lady understands that initially the one who cannot open the way was Liliana Blanchet. Lily wonders if this happened because she took over her body. She doesn't know whether it's the first or the second, but at that very moment she remembers today's nightmare. After all, at that very moment he shakes his head and asks what the guy meant. Speaking about the possibility of helping, the young man replies that it is a secret. Well, he can open the way. If gradually opens the big door very little by little, Lily asks if other people can't open the way, to which the guy replies that as far as he knows, no. Lily understands that she thinks that this is true because they would not delay entering the academy just because she is not good at magic. The girl thinks that this kid is amazing, and he is not like Aiden, but he is also smart and has a great ability to throw, plus he is a prince. And if he takes the throne after defeating the first prince, he will be the perfect protagonist of a fantasy novel. If he were the same age as Juliana, who would become number one? The guy says that if the lady wants to enter Delir, she should tell him because he will need to prepare a lot of things. Lily realizes that if she were actually 8 years old, she would have fallen for it, and she means that the guy told her that he would help her when he found a way to get to Delir. And even if Carlyle goes down a different path, it will not affect her in any way, after which the children turn to the guy. The lady understands that in such moments it is better to use a contract, and also asks him to promise that Carlyle Evans, with genuine kindness, helps Liliana Blanchett without receiving anything in return. The girl thinks, how can she understand God? Did he say 2 different words with the same one? Because unfortunately this often happened in her life. The guy claims that Lily does not trust him at all. But the lady claims that this is not the case. She does not understand that she simply does not believe in people themselves, and moreover, she does not believe in such a feeling as love. She is also worried that Juliana can leave her at any moment, so how can she trust others? The guy at this time, he claims that he understood them next time to prepare a contract. The main character thinks, did he really immediately understand what she was talking about? This means he already had such precedents, because if somehow it's a little sad, and the girl says that he also shouldn't trust people, but the young man says that he believes her. The girl asks what if she betrays him, but the guy replies that there is nothing to be done because he wants to trust her, and wants to do it regardless of the contract. A little while later, the guy asks the lady to wait a little because he will help her mana to manifest. But the main character screams that if someone passes by, the guy replies that everything is fine because there is no one there. And this really won't be long, after which the girl sees butterflies and becomes delighted. The guy claims that he did it with the help of her magic, and the main character wonders if this is really true. The girl claims that she has never seen anything like this before, but the prince claims that from now on, she will see it more often. If she's near him, Lily realizes that she'll pretend she didn't hear anything. A little while later, the girl's sister asks if she had a good time with the prince, to which Lily replies that yes, Carlisle showed her something interesting. The woman asks what the lady is saying, and the lady replies that it is a secret, after which she looks at the guy. And she thinks that while Juliana is nearby, she doesn't want her to notice Carlisle's manipulation of her son with her magic. Because what will happen to him then? The guy at this time turns to Lady Blanchett, and he claims that he has something to say about Kate Blanchett. The woman at the same moment asks the prince to speak to her less politely, and the young man claims that he wanted to say something about Liliana's Mackay management, but due to his circumstances it is difficult to speak unceremoniously. The woman wonders if he is talking about Lily's magic. The main character realizes that initially her sister felt uncomfortable because Carlisle speaks politely. Well, as soon as the conversation turned to her sister immediately changed her attitude. This is probably because she always stands in first place, but the main game does not think that she is not worth it, and if she cannot return, then she decided to have fun. But the girl thinks, how long will this life be without thinking? The girl understands that she can't do it, but by saying so, isn't she deceiving herself? The woman at this time claims that as far as she knows, the results of the test are unknown. The young man claims that the original information was given to me intentionally, and that the results of Liliana's test are already known in Cantio. The woman says that this is unpleasant to hear, and the young man says that he simply warned them about it. He also doesn't think that this topic is suitable for conversation, where they might meet the next time people arrive at the Imperial Palace, because he is sure that it will not harm Lily in any way. The woman replies that it is good, and next time she will visit him with Lily. Juliana also thanks the prince for always taking care of the summer and apologizes for not being able to help them more. The lady claims that she too is sorry that their side cannot repay the prince for the favor shown to her in full. She is a little ashamed that they may bother the prince in the future. The main character understands that if briefly, her sister said that if the prince does not treat her like that, the girl will not be able to do what she wants. Earlier, Carlisle said that he was rejected after hinting that it seems he wants to marry her. The girl thought that she was only protecting her sister, but it turned out that they were doing it mutually. A little while later, good games are not interested in whether there is a struggle for imperial power in their country. Luca, surprised, lures the ball away and wonders why the lady is talking about this when they are playing ball. Lily claims that she is just interested in this, and that is how the idea came to her. At the same time, he wonders if this is because of the two princes, and the paid heroine thinks that he is not at all interested in what is happening in the world, but his wits work well. The girl immediately kicks the ball with all her might and then asks Joshua to go get it. The young man claims that the lady kicked him on purpose. The girl says that if he brings it in a minute, then she says what dessert it is today, and the guy claims that he can finish it in 30 seconds. Luca tells the lady that he knows nothing about such a thing, and suggests asking Aiden. The main character replies that it would be a little strange to ask him, because he also belongs to the imperial family, and the young man says that this is true. The girl looking at the guy understands that sometimes capable people put their wits on display, and Luca is just one of them. He is an outstanding personality and also a magician without friends, and besides his abilities are in the style of a secondary hero. The girl is still worried about what Carlisle said about the mercenary, and no matter how much the emperor loved the prince, the 10-year-old child suffers from the threat of an assassin attack, and there is no one who would listen to him. Besides, Carlisle is unusually kind to her. And the girl sighs. Luca says that if the flight is so interesting, then let her resign herself and ask Aiden. Well, the girl replies that it is impossible because Aiden really doesn't like Carlisle, and if she starts asking about something like that, but at that very moment the young man comes out from behind the lady and asks what she wants to ask about. Lily immediately says that he scared her, and she didn't even hear him from the steps. The guy says that he was lucky, and that means he repeated correctly as it was written in the book. The main character is wondering what kind of book this is, and is it really about how to become a capable assassin? The young man at this time is wondering what she wanted to ask, and the main character turns away as if saying that she does not understand what he is talking about. the lady immediately cries out that since her birthday is coming soon, she is curious what everyone will give her and Luca will give her a tiara. The young man at that very moment wants to ask when he spoke about such a thing, but when the main character turns to him, he immediately claims that it will be made of candy. Aiden wonders if it's worth saying on a gift before a birthday, and the main characters don't answer that it's true. Then the young man claims that he will not tell her the main character thinks that he will tell the green man something is up too, after which she keeps wondering what he came up with. A little while later, Juliana turns to Lily and says that it's time to get up. She also asks the girl if she remembers what day it is, and she understands that today she woke up earlier than usual. Well, she doesn't want to get up at all, and the reason is that today is Liliana Blanchet's birthday. Juliana says that they haven't celebrated a birthday together for a long time, and will the lady really continue to lie in bed? Lily understands that other people's congratulations didn't matter to her because their connection continued even when she occupied this body, but Juliana is a different matter. Liliana Blanchet's family is a whole other level of problem, and besides, she and her sister are celebrating their birthday 5 years later. Lily understands that in this way she will plunge into an eternal sleep from remorse. The woman claims that Jane and Thomas prepared a delicious breakfast for Lily's birthday. Heinz prepared a dress as a gift, and it may be a bit small because it is the same size as the dress she wore to the banquet in honor of the second prince's birthday. The main character understands that she is showing such care and attention when her little sister there is nothing left for her to do but get up. In addition to the family, the servants of the mansion, and especially Heinz, have long worked for the Blanchet family and always watched as Liliana grew up. Be attached with a minor, then they never, you bought a dress. That's why she was going to keep her distance and not pay attention to such details in the book, especially on how the main character naturally got along with the people around them. Apparently they were all strong morally, and the girl understands that this was the beginning of Liliana's birthday celebration without Liliana herself, and everyone was happy except her. A little while later, Cedric wishes Lily a happy birthday. He claims that when he knitted thinking about Lily, he wanted to do this and that. In the end, he knitted a hat, a scarf, gloves, and a few other things. The main character wonders if he really knitted instead of working. Well, the guy claims he doesn't think the lady would wear knitwear, and he should have taken that into account. Lily realizes he's definitely a part of it, and when she opens the box, she notices something else, and the guy claims that he included a sword in the gift so that Lily would use it when she learns fencing so that she wouldn't have to look for a suitable one. The main character understands that they are her feeling as if she received something probable, and the lady happily gives charity to Cedric. At the same moment, Lady Cedric's sister appears next to them, apologizes to her, and also claims that when he entered, he decided that he should first congratulate the birthday girl. The woman replies that there is no need to apologize, because today the main character is Lily. The girl also waves to Joshua and understands that he is next in line. The young man immediately congratulates Lily on her birthday. The main character thanks him and then asks what he has in his hand. The guy claims that he will give her the gift last, and the girl asks why. The blonde replies that he doesn't know and will just give it last. Cedric says that Joshua wants his gift to be the most memorable. The young man immediately cries out indignantly to his uncle, and the main character realizes that she likes this kind of teasing. She also thinks that the poor child did not cry because she will take pity on him and will be glad to give him warmth. The girl also says that she thinks that the first gift given to her will be the most memorable. The lady also wonders if he is embarrassed about his gift to believe that everything is fine and she will like whatever he gives her. The girl also thinks that her sister should watch because the sociability that her sister was worried about has now crossed the stratosphere. The young man then hands over his gift and tells the lady to open it after he leaves. The main character thinks that's fine, and she'll save this innocent moment to tease him when he grows up. At the same moment, someone else runs up to Lily and shouts, "Congratulations!" Michael hands the lady a box of goodies and claims that it is a gift from the Marchioness of Cladis. The blue-haired boy at this time tells Lily that no matter how much he searched, he could not find a tiara made of candy, but anything else chosen in a hurry would be devoid of sincerity. So let her accept it as her gift. The girl then asks if she can return the gift. The young man, immediately from the Chinese gang, also claims that he knew that the lady would say so if later she needs something he will fulfill her 3 wishes. Lily wonders if she will be able to use them later. Then the girl realizes that there are many witnesses and she will not forget. At this time, someone else addresses Lily. The main character realizes that it is Aiden, and the guy at that very moment hands her a box and also congratulates her on her birthday and claims that it is his gift. The girl sighs because the box is small, but she was nervous that he could give something like that. Lily thanks him and asks if she can open it now, to which the guy replies here, and she can do it if she wants. The main character thinks that this is great and she will open the gift right now. Well, when the girl does it then she gets shocked and the guy blushes a little and tells her not to worry because he bought it with his own pocket money. The girl looks at this ring and thinks, "Isn't there a pink diamond in it?" The lady also thinks, how much pocket money does he get? The guy claims that he chose a ring with a larger size and when she grows up it should fit. But if it is still too big, he will just go down a size. Lily says that is not what she is talking about. And the guy claims that he knows that she likes desserts more, but wanted to give a meaningful gift. And the main character wonders if he is talking about something meaningful because it is almost a proposal. At this time, the young man apologizes for not being able to give something better, and the main character wonders if a pink diamond is common in this world, and doesn't it crumble like crumbs when you break a boulder in a mountain? At this time, Alan claims that the guy talks about the ring as if he bought a dessert, and the main character understands that as she thought it is a very expensive gift. After which the lady thanks the new guy and claims that she can't accept something so expensive. Lily also thinks that if this is just an excuse to get her life sense, and if the guy says that by accepting the gift didn't she agree to his proposal, then it will be difficult. She has been watching the Evans family, including Aiden, for several months. And although they are different families but relatives, the guys claim that this is his first gift for her birthday and wonder if the lady can't accept it. The main character understands that it is worth thinking positively, and this gift does not look as expensive as it seems. If not, then maybe he just wanted to give her a ring and a pendant without any meaning. After which the girl thinks that it is good and thanks Aiden. Well, then the lady thinks that she is somehow uneasy. Therefore, it will be necessary to save the gift, and if the guy asks for something, she will immediately return it. Juliana, at this time, invites everyone to the table and offers to eat cake. The main character understands that this is a cake prepared by her older sister, and also thinks that she really likes it and she is happy, but still something is wrong. At this time, the woman turns to Lily and asks, "What is wrong?" To which the girl replies that nothing is wrong. The lady also wonders if it is because her parents are not there, but they said that they would come as soon as possible to celebrate her birthday, so they will be there soon. Lily understands that they thought that she had fallen into eternal sleep, so they did not congratulate her, and the girl also wonders if she is happy. After which she understands that soon there will be more people there because of whom she will again experience remorse. The lady also asks when they will arrive, and the woman replies that they should be there tomorrow. Michael says that if the lady wants, they can make the birthday party last all week. Alan says that if Michael's money is not enough, he will show a lot of interesting magic, and Cedric says that he will help Lily do whatever she wants. The girl wonders if they are trying to look good in front of Juliana, and that is why they are so sincere, as if they have become attached to her over time. Well, the girl understands that now it is worth forgetting about this, as well as about anxiety and feelings of guilt regarding the future, because she wants to at least spend today happily like Liliana Blanchett. The girl also understands that this is true, and everyone is there to celebrate her birthday, so she will show her happy side. At this time, Michael says that then they must first find a banquet hall, and the girl thinks that it is not necessary, after which she states that she does not like it. Then Alan says that he will show magic, and the lady says that she likes it. After which she even claims that she wants to go play, and the woman asks where. The girl replies that where there is clean water and fresh air and also no people. But at that very moment, everyone falls silent, and the main character thinks, why is everything like this? Because the water in the air there is better than in Korea. At least there is no fine dust. Cedric at this time asks if it is necessary to find a place where there are no people, and it is not near the capital. Michael asks how many people Julian can teleport at once because he has teleported before only alone, and he has no experience moving people. The woman replies that she has not moved more than 2 people including her, but if you calculate the mana consumption per number of people taking into account that they will leave the capital's territory, the main character at the same time stops her sister and says that it is so difficult, so it is not necessary. The girl also wonders if teleportation is such a complicated magic, and even in the novel reality is reality. But the girl also sees the solemn expression on her sister's face and thinks what to do because she is determined to take her to play. The woman at this time says that she thinks it will be difficult to use magic twice a day, so they will need to stay there for a day. Alan at this time claims that they have 3 mages who can use teleportation, but Evans is an exception because he can only move alone. Michael asks the guy not to say useless things, and Alan claims that it turns out that he and Leah should divide the 5 between the 2 of them. The woman claims that she can handle 4 including her, and then the guy claims that he will take on Luca and Cedric and she, the rest of the children. The main character understands that even in such a situation, he prevents any contact between Juliana and Cedric. The blonde at this time claims that he thinks they can stay at his villa. After all, he will say that they should not let anyone in, and the main character understands that they have thoroughly prepared. The girl understands that she expressed herself incorrectly because she should have said something about delicious food playing hide-and-seek or something similar. Of course, it would be good if they went to a new place, but this situation puts pressure on her. And besides, this is one night outside the Blanchet estate. At this time, the woman says that the lady should then be ready to go out, and the main character thinks why she should do this together with men who have black souls. Well, then the lady thinks that okay, and if her sister likes it, then she likes it too, but she still has to be on guard. A little while later, Alan says that if everyone is ready, they can go, to which the girl nods. After which he suggests that Lily go and have a good time, and when they return, their parents will probably already be there. The main character nods but realizes that she is still worried about her parents. The lady also turns to Joshua and Aiden and asks them to hurry up because they need to hold hands. When 2 guys look at one free hand of the main character, they immediately run to it, and the girl understands that this is a summer competition. Joshua is the first to grab the girl's hand, and the main character understands that this is not surprising because the guy has had physical training since childhood. At this time, Juliana smiles, and the main character thinks how cute her little sister is, after which the woman lowers her little sister's hand and suggests doing it differently. Juliana positions herself so that the 2 boys can take the main character's hands, and the girl realizes that in the end, putting them on either side was a good decision. Joshua is a little unhappy, but this is the best way out of the situation. But then the main character looks at Aiden's face, and she understands that it is absolutely not good that he smiles like that. The lady's sister at this time begins to use magic. The main character understands that although this is the first time everything matches the novel, Michael can teleport only 1, and Alan, who was a good magician, can teleport up to 3 people. The main character understands that her little sister is really talented. She did not become the one who would be held back by Rowan. And besides, no matter what happens, she will not give her little sister to the one who will lock her in the estate and will not allow her to go anywhere. Juliana is a person who likes to do everything herself, and at the same moment they find themselves near Michael's villa. The main character, looking at the landscape, says that it is so beautiful there. After which she suggests going to the lake, but at the same moment Alan teleports there with Luca and Cedric. The guy with blue hair screams that he will go too. After which Cedric says that it is dangerous, so he offers to go together, and Alan realizes that he has been abandoned. A little while later, the girl is already sitting and wetting her feet in the lake. Luca approaches her and asks if it is cold for a girl, to which she replies that no, and that it is nice to sit like this. Luca says that he does not think so, and Aiden turns to Lily, and he wonders what she really wanted to ask last time. After all, she said she couldn't ask him about it. The main character wonders if he still remembers this, and the young man becomes interested. Will she really not tell him? The girl thinks that she can pretend that she doesn't remember anymore, after which she hands the strawberry to the young man and offers him to eat it, but the guy says no and she can eat it. Lily claims that she feeds him and doesn't care if the guy doesn't want to eat his own hands. Aiden then eats strawberries but claims that Lily knows that he is always happy to help her with anything, and if he can help with something, then let the lady tell him. But at that very moment someone makes a sound of disgust, and the main character realizes that it is Luca. At this time, the brunette wonders if she really thinks that he doesn't know, and that's why he doesn't ask to, which the lady replies that this is not so. The girl also thinks that since he is so curious, she will tell. The lady claims that the question was about Carlisle, and the guy immediately replies that he doesn't want to listen to it. The main character wonders if this little guy has really gone completely nuts. Aiden doesn't like Carlisle, and now it would be more correct to say not love. That same evening, Juliana turns to Lily and asks what she is thinking about. The girl immediately turns to her little sister, and the woman asks if she had fun today, to which the girl replies that she did. And the lady suggests that next time we relax, just the two of us, Lily asks if they have a villa too. And the woman replies that, of course, and she is not that big. Well, then the woman suddenly turns to Lily and wonders if the memories of her mom and dad have returned to her. Lily wonders why she suddenly started talking about her parents. And the woman says that, however, it doesn't matter. The main character understands that last time the letter was also, and possibly the Blanchett couple. She was completely indifferent to her two daughters. Therefore, Juliana and the servants of the mansion treated her with even greater warmth. The girl understands that she is a little uncomfortable and wonders about what kind of life Liliana lived before she took over her body. The woman at this time says that when they return, the drivers will go for a walk. Lily understands that she shouldn't try so hard because she only needs her sister, and she is also afraid only of her. The woman at this time hugs the girl and offers her to sleep. The main character understands that when she really likes someone, that is, she becomes scared. After all, she is afraid that this man will leave her or hate her. At this time, Juliana says to Lily, what the sister wants is for the girl to always be happy and for sad or bad things not to happen. Lily understands that it is possible that this is because of her rationalization. 3, you can say that it is definitely because of her. If her sister wants this, then she will do so until she leaves her because she is even more sorry. Later, the main character wakes up and turns to her sister, but she doesn't see her and wonders if she really went to drink some water and whether it's worth looking for her. The girl understands that there is no lamp, and if she and her sister miss each other, it will be a problem, so she will wait first. The girl thought so, but after 30 minutes, her sister did not come, and the lady thought whether it was really worth going to look for, because all 3 main characters are there, and then the girl jumps out of bed and puts on her shoes and heads to the hallway. The main character looks at the impenetrable darkness and realizes that it seems she can't live without a lamp. But at that moment, someone else turns to Lily, and the girl immediately almost swears and says that the guy scared her a lot. The main character understands that he really walks silently, so she will burn the book that teaches such techniques to the devil. At this time, the young man apologizes and asks if the girl is okay. The little girl replies that yes, but wonders why he is there, to which the boy replies that his uncle has disappeared, and the girl asks if he has also slept for a while. The young man replies that no, and they read books together in the library. Lily now wonders if they did it at such a time, and understands that if she thinks about it, Michael and Juliana disappeared at the same time at night. The lady also suggests looking together, and the guy agrees. When they head further, as the main character claims that she was about to go back and it's good that she met him, the guy nods and then suggests that in order not to get lost, they hold hands. The main character asks if he knows everything there well, and the guy replies that he roughly remembered what and where while he was walking. The main character understands that Michael's villa was different from her imagination because it was quite large and spacious, almost like their mansion. But if the villa is so big, then the girl is already afraid to imagine how big his mansion is. Aiden, at this time, turns to Lily and claims that he was worried about the fact that he persistently forced her to answer questions. And I thought that it would be good if there were no secrets between them, but in the meantime, he didn't do it. So in response, after which the guy apologizes, the main character answers that everything is fine and understands that there is no need to try so hard, because even if he insists, this doesn't mean that she will immediately tell everything. The young man at this time claims that this is why he wants to tell her something, but at the same moment the main character notices someone and drags the guy around the corner. The young man asks what happened, and the main character at this time notices her sister with Michael. The main character tells the boy to be quiet and understands that it is hard to hear these two, and also tells the young man to do the same as me because she is continuing the mission of the secret group. At this time, Juliana turns to Michael and the guy replies that he is not trying to put pressure on her, and the main character thinks what kind of situation this is, if Juliana feels a burden and Michael makes excuses. The main character thinks what kind of feeling of déjà vu this is, and her sister at this time claims that it is as she said. For now, she wants to give her attention and strength to her sister, and therefore, whether it be marriage or marriage in Canada, she wants to think about it now. The main character understands that everything is as she thought, and in this family the proposal for marriage is simply sewn into the DNA. Without asking and demanding a clear answer to it, Michael claims that he does not ask the lady to answer him right now because she knows that he will wait as long as necessary. The main character at this time thinks whether she should look at it, after which she turns to the boy next to her and realizes that he is not at all interested in what the conversation is about. At this time, Juliana turns to Michael and hesitates, a little wants to say something, but at the same moment someone turns to Lily. And he wonders why he is there, and the main character understands that it is Alan. The lady's sister at this time also turns in their direction and asks if it is Lily and Aiden. The girl understands that since she was caught, she will act confidently, and the lady immediately greets her sister, but the woman asks why she is there. The girl understands that her sister is angry and a little scared, so she needs to quickly explain herself. The lady immediately claims that she woke up and her sister was not there, but the guy with black hair claims that he brought her, and Lily is not to blame. The main character understands that she did not think that the boy would do that. At this time, Juliana asks, what if they had missed each other? And besides, there are a lot of mountain animals there, after which the guy apologizes, and the main character understands that if this happens next time, she will go out secretly. But now, she should repent. Alan also wonders why they are there because there are so many mountain animals there. The young man exchanges glances with these two, and the main character understands that this is the scene she saw in the novel. Juliana says that there was something to talk about, after which she asks why he went out, too, which the guy replies that he couldn't sleep, so he decided to take a walk. And he thinks that it's good that Michael came out, and the main character at this time notices the guy's gaze on herself and thinks why the blonde is looking only at her, and does he really think that she is an obstacle to his love? So the guy is right, but the main character immediately turns to her sister and seems to say that her potential fiancé is boring her with his gaze. The woman at this time suggests going inside, and the girl understands that when they return to the room, she will have to listen to the lectures. But if it weren't for Alan, she would have quietly returned to the room after overhearing everything and pretended to be asleep. The main character also looks at Aiden, then waves to him, and in her thoughts, thanks her friend for covering her, and if he is also scolded, she will definitely help him. But perhaps this will not happen, and the girl understands that Liliana's noisy and unexpected birthday is over. The next day, the girl would return to the estate, and the butler asked if they had a good time. The main character answers that yes, and also thanks him for the dress. The man smiles and says that he is glad that the lady liked it. The girl understands that until this time she did not really talk to the butler of their mansion, and also tried to avoid him, but maybe it is better to live in harmony with him. Juliana says that first they need to go and wash themselves, and the butler claims that then he will prepare everything right away. The man also says that the gifts that Lady Liliana received are on the table in the bedroom, and there are also new gifts that were sent while she was away, to which the main character agrees. Juliana thanks the butler, and the main character understands that this smile is automatic. And did she really not like it that much? That she went out at night, but in the morning her sister was kind. Before she came to the mansion, the girl at this time addresses the butler. The man claims that he is listening to her. The woman at this time is a little excited, looks at her sister, after which the main character claims that she will go first and look at the gifts in the room, and also understands that it would be right if she leaves now. The woman replies that it is good and suggests the girl to go first. The main character understands that if this is something she shouldn't hear about, then it's one of two things. Either it's a marriage proposal from Michael, or something related to Blanche's Chiqueta, and the girl understands that her intuition tells her that there are two, so after their arrival at the mansion, the butler was in no hurry to leave, and the girl thinks how many times during the exchange of letters there was something wrong and she was not told about it, but even if she knew it, she couldn't do anything anyway, and the girl understands that she will just go and check her gifts HJ. As soon as the lady enters the room, she is shocked. She thinks that since Liliana doesn't have many friends, Carlisle sent most of the gifts. The girl decides to start with Joshua's gift, and when she opens it, then he sees the gift itself and the letter underneath it. There the guy wrote that his mother helped him with the gift, but he looks like her. Lily realizes that there is not a word of congratulations in the congratulatory letter. But still the guy is a cutie, and looking at this she feels like an aunt. Then the next time they meet she will wear this jewelry. The girl also decides to check Carlisle's gifts, but at the same moment the lady is approached by the butler and claims that the Count and Countess Blanchett have arrived at the mansion. The main character understands that she needs to think about how to behave when she meets them. Her parents already know about her memory loss, but Juliana thinks that her upset look yesterday was because her parents weren't around. The girl also thinks whether she should pretend to be happy, and the maid at this time turns to the lady and claims that she has not helped her with her hair and clothes for a long time. Since Lady Juliana returned, she has done everything herself, after which she also asks if the lady remembers. The main character nods at this time and understands that it is not that she does not remember, but that she cannot remember it, and she wonders if that is why she did not talk to her. The maid claims that the lady must have felt awkward, and even now she is worried because she might still be uncomfortable. Then the main character wonders if everyone in the mansion, including Hines, was expressing their concern for her in this way. The woman also says that it would be good if the lady remembered everything. Even if she doesn't remember, it's nothing. After all, they remember everything, and the main character understands that they suddenly wanted to run away from everyone who used to know Liliana. The girl understands that before she took possession of this body, Liliana Blanchett was a child surrounded by love. Although her older sister was far away, she treasured her little sister very much, and even so there was almost no mention of Liliana in the novel, and there is only a small moment. The main character thinks that if you think about it, it's illogical, because despite the fact that Juliana values her little sister so much, she has never come to see her.